Chapter 32-36. Spinosaurus Thunderclaw Ghost Dragon descend above the West Dragon Gate of the Water Dragon Palace. A 100-meter-wide scene appeared in the air. From this image, one could see many figures hiding in one place, not moving at all. Wang Xian came to the front of the scene and squinted his eyes to scan it. 313 figures. There's a huge gap between the information I got from the Nether Claw. He stood in front and murmured, "Dragon King, if the other party wants to avoid my detection, they either have to be a level 6 universe venerable or possess a powerful postnatal treasure." Tianjun stood aside and said to Wang Xian, "It's impossible to have a 6-step battle prowess, but it's highly possible to have a Hotian treasure." Wang Xian recalled the ghostly dragon that had attacked him previously. That ghost dragon had the combat power of a rank 5 universe venerable, but it was still able to sneak an attack on him when he was already on guard. It should have a powerful concealment treasure. Wow, Big Brother Wang Xian. This man is so powerful. He could even detect the people from the demonic dragon lineage. On the side, Shui Linglong was looking at the scene in front of her with an astonished expression on her face. Hee. Wang Xian smiled, looked at Shui Linglong and asked, "Linglong, may I ask how many acquired treasures your Water Dragon Palace has?" "An acquired treasure? Our Water Dragon Palace has 5 or 6, and I have one too." Shui Linglong slightly narrowed her eyes and spoke. Her palm moved and a ring appeared in her hand. 5 or 6. That's a lot. Wang Xian looked at the acquired cardinal treasure in her hand speechlessly. Postnatal treasures were extremely precious. A rank 6 or 7 universe venerable having one was already not bad. At his peak, the Sky Sea Dragon King had the battle prowess of a universe venerable level 9, but he only had one postnatal treasure. The Water Dragon Palace had 5 or 6 postnatal treasures, which should have been obtained in the Water Dragon Palace. In that case, one could also guess that the Fire Dragon Palace of the demonic dragon lineage would not have too many acquired treasures compared to theirs. It was very likely that the Underworld Claw Ghost Dragon possessed a postnatal cardinal treasure. Roving Demon, prepare to attack. Be careful, they might have a rank 5 universe venerable with a postnatal treasure. Wang Xian ordered as he looked at the 200 Spinosaurus species. "Yes, Dragon King." Roving Demon immediately replied, "Arrow Drakes, Phantom Drakes, the 2 of you will provide support at the front. If any Spike Drakes are besieged or are no match for them, help them out." Wang Xian continued to instruct Arrow Dragon and Succubus. "It's Dragon King." Mao Zedong and the others immediately responded, "Sky Formation, you stay behind and provide support." Wang Xian instructed the Sky Array again. Tianjin nodded and looked at Roving Demon and the others. "Lock onto their positions and prepare for assassination." Roving Demon's eyes flickered with excitement as he ordered his subordinates. This time, they were fighting against Netherclaw and Spectral Dragon, who were both powerful dragons. Among these dragon species, none of them were weaker than universe supremacies. At the same time, they were also experts in assassination. This was a huge challenge for the spiky dragons. Yes, the spike dragons' bodies flickered with light as they looked at the Netherclaw Ogre Dragon. In the next moment, they disappeared into the void. Ah, why did they suddenly disappear? I can't even sense their existence. Shui Linglong, who was sitting on the side, exclaimed in surprise. Wang Xian smiled and didn't speak. The spiky dragon's assassination ability might not be the best in the universe, but it was definitely in the top 3. Given Shui Linglong's strength, she wouldn't be able to detect the spiky dragon unless she tried her best. "Oh yes, they addressed you as the Dragon King. Are you the Dragon King from the Dragon Palace?" Following which, Shui Linglong looked at him and asked again. There weren't many divine dragons in the universe to begin with. The rise of the Dragon Palace would naturally attract the attention of other divine dragons. Shui Linglong also knew about it. In fact, her parents had made some guesses just now. It was just that they didn't ask directly. "Yes, I'm here to settle some matters and happened to bump into you guys. Hence, I came over out of curiosity." Wang Xian didn't hide anything and nodded. "Really? In that case, Brother Wang Xian, your Dragon Palace is really strong. Are those subordinates of yours also powerful dragon species?" Shui Linglong asked curiously. "Not bad. Wang Xian smiled faintly. Hee hee, I didn't expect the Fire Dragon Palace to join forces with the Devil Dragon lineage. Dragon Palace, you guys are helping our Water Dragon Palace. Hee hee, let's teach them a good lesson. Shui Linglong clenched her fist and smiled. Don't worry, teach them a good lesson. Wang Xian nodded and looked at the scene in front of him. Shui Linglong was also watching from the side with her eyes wide open. She was born in the Water Dragon Palace as a purebred divine dragon and was doted on by many. Even though she had the strength of a fourth-order universe venerable, she was still very pure. In the void around the Water Dragon Palace, the two core legions of the Devil Dragon lineage were hiding. The Fire Dragon Palace and the Devil Dragon lineage had formed an alliance and were ready to destroy the Water Dragon Palace. They hid here to weaken the Water Dragon Palace's strength and to seal them off. In fact, they had already achieved great results. In the beginning, they had already assassinated hundreds of thousands of Water Dragon Palace disciples without the Water Dragon Palace knowing. Among them, there were many universe venerables. Even in the end, they didn't really expose themselves. As a member of the Devil Dragon lineage, they were most proud of having terrifying assassins. Netherclaw and Ghost Dragon were two terrifying assassination dragon species. They hid in the void, and even those stronger than them would find it difficult to sense them. Once they attacked, they would definitely be killed. They had the confidence to assassinate any expert of the same level. Now, they knew that the Water Dragon Palace knew of their existence, but they still didn't have the slightest fear. Before the Water Dragon Palace wanted to surround and kill them, they had already sensed it and left quickly. Moreover, with the strength of their leader, he wasn't afraid even if he faced the top experts of the Water Dragon Palace. All the Netherclaw ghost dragons hid in the void crack and looked around with a pair of cold eyes. They were waiting for their prey. They guarded the surroundings. Just hiding in the darkness will be illuminated by the light. Wandering in the light and darkness is the real assassination. All the Netherclaw and Ghost Dragons didn't notice that they had been exposed to the powerful array. What they didn't expect was that there were already figures approaching them quickly. I've been busy for the past few days. Chapter 32-37. Buzz. In the cloudless starry sky, everything seemed calm and tranquil. The wind whistled, but there was nothing strange about it. Pu-pu-pu. But strangely, drops of blood suddenly flowed out from a spot in the void. Blood flowed out of the void in a strange manner. There was more than one spot in the surrounding void. This scene made one's scalp go numb. Who's the sneak attack? Suddenly, an incomparably violent and furious voice exploded in the air. Immediately after, a terrifying claw tore through the void and a pair of cold eyes scanned the surroundings. Did someone sneak attack us? Is it someone from the Water-Hidden tribe? Another ferocious-looking, boneless, and liquid-like existence also appeared in the void. His blood-red eyes stared in one direction, and his face was filled with killing intent. How dare they ambush our people? Kill them. All Netherclaw ghost dragons, be careful. The ghost dragon leader and the Netherclaw leader had a ferocious look on their faces as they warned loudly. Buzz. In the next moment, Ghost Dragon waved its claws, and a terrifying dark light attacked the void in front of it. Retreat. Roving Demon sensed the attack of the spectral dragon leader and gave the order to retreat. Buzz. In the void, figures quickly retreated in the direction of the Water Dragon Palace. Kill them. The leader of the Ghost Dragon Netherclaw growled and ordered his underlings in the sky. Roars could be heard as figures emerged from the cracks in the void. However, when the leader of the Ghost Dragon Netherclaw saw these figures, its body trembled. Why are there only 200? Where are the other members? All Netherclaws, come out. All Ghost Dragons, come out. When the Ghost Dragon Netherclaw leader saw that the Ghost Dragon Netherclaw only had 200+ members, his expression changed and he roared. However, there was no response. This caused the Ghost Dragon Netherclaw's leader's expression to change slightly. The rest of the Ghost Dragon Netherclaws also narrowed their eyes, revealing a fearful expression. Kill them. Malevolent looks appeared on their faces. Their figures flashed as they attacked all the spike dragons. Streaks of horrifying dark energy shot forward. So. However, at this time, the group of spike dragons had already flown towards the water dragon palace at their fastest speed. Even those who were further away returned to the dragon palace the moment the ghost dragon Netherclaw leader discovered them. Follow me and kill. The Netherclaw and ghost dragon leader's eyes were filled with bloodlust and anger. The Netherclaw and ghost dragons were the core legion of the demon dragon bloodline. They were the strongest dragon species in the entire demon dragon bloodline, excluding the demon dragon king. The total number of soldiers in the two legions was no more than 400. This time, only about 300 people came. But now, he had lost about 100 subordinates. Although 100 wasn't a lot, it was a quarter of the Netherclaw ogre dragons. This was a quarter of the mystic dragon's elite army. More than 100 members were killed, which was a considerable loss to the entire demon dragon bloodline. After all, this was a powerful high-level dragon species, and their numbers were limited. Kill them. How dare they assassinate us? Kill them. The group of ghost dragons and Netherclaw roared. As powerful assassins of the demonic dragon bloodline and the divine dragon bloodline, more than 100 of their companions had been assassinated without a trace today. As powerful assassins, they were actually assassinated. This made them feel angry and humiliated. At the same time, they were a little frightened. What kind of enemy could assassinate them? At the same time, Wang Xian frowned slightly when he saw the scene in front of the Water Dragon Palace. They only assassinated about 100 Netherclaw ogre dragons, and they are attacking so crazily? He murmured with cold murderous intent in his eyes. Let them see our strength. Tian Zhan's gaze swept across Zhe Sin's group as he said coldly. All right. The group of arrow dragons and phantom dragons squinted their eyes. The leader of the phantom dragons held the black spider lilies and exuded a faint, creepy aura. She had already evolved into a phantom dragon. Now that she controlled the black spider lilies, she would be even more terrifying. They're here. Leave the two Netherclaw leaders with rank 5 supremacy combat power to me. The rest are yours. Try to kill as many as you can. At this time, the group of spike dragons flew over. Tian Zhan saw the Netherclaw ogre dragons chasing after them and narrowed his eyes. Buzz, 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 buzz. The leader of the phantom dragons waved her arm and the black spider lilies in her hands launched an attack. The rest of the phantom dragons followed closely and a creepy sound engulfed them. Energy condensed into extremely charming eyes in the air, and the Netherclaw ogre dragons attacked. Swish, swish, swish. In the next moment, the arrow dragon at the side attacked them with terrifying arrows. Ambush? The leaders of the Netherclaw and ghost dragons saw the incoming attack and had a cold look in their eyes. They waved their arms and waved their claws at the same time to attack. The reason why they dared to chase after them was because they were confident in their own strength and understanding of the Water Dragon Palace. With their strength and the treasures in their hands, they could easily retreat. Boom. The moment they made their move, the surrounding array formation also moved. Array formations that had been set up in advance shrouded them. What? Since when did the Water Dragon Palace have sorcerers? When they saw the sudden attack, their expressions changed slightly. Retreat. The leader of the Netherclaw and ghost dragons felt that something was amiss. They made a prompt decision and shouted without hesitation. They were originally prepared to kill the guy who ambushed them. Now, they could only give up. You think you can leave just because you want to? Tian Zhan had a cold look in his eyes and waved his arm again. Boom, boom. In an instant, all the arrays set up in the surroundings exploded. At this time, the strange attacks of the phantom dragons and arrow dragons had arrived. Dodge. The group of ghost dragons and Netherclaw dodged to the side and prepared to leave. Buzz. However, when they glanced at those creepy eyes, they were in a trance. Some of the Netherclaw and ghost dragons who were only rank 1 or 2 universe supremacies were in a trance. However, just as they were in a daze, arrows pierced through their bodies. Damn it, what kind of creepy attack is this? Everyone, retreat. Chapter 32-38 Wrath of the Fire Dragonon, Retreat, Retreat, Retreat. The Ghost Dragon and Netherclaw leader used all their strength to defend against the Heaven Formation. Sensing the situation around them, their expressions changed. The attacks from the group in front of them were a little strange. So strange that they didn't suffer any attacks, yet they were showing strange symptoms. In just a moment, dozens of ghost dragons and netherclaw were killed. This caused the two leaders to be filled with shock and anger. Roar, roar. They roared. The netherclaw leader shook his body, and a pitch-black claw appeared in front of him. The claw swiped forward lightly, forming a horrifying river of darkness. The Heaven Formations array landed on it and was easily blocked. The ghost dragon leader had a black hideous mask floating in front of him. The mask was filled with blood-red patterns. Streaks of blood-red patterns condensed into a blood-red, hideous face that covered the area in front of them. Swish, 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 swish. At this moment, the black dragon and arrow dragon attacked the netherclaw and ghost dragon again. But this time, the creepy blood-red hideous mask broke through the Heaven Formations array. The arrows and the strange attacks of the black dragon were easily blocked by it. This made the Heaven Formations expression change. Retreat. Go. Just you wait. We will make you pay 100 times the price for what happened today. The ghost dragon leader roared with a stern face. He waved his dragon claw and darkness shrouded him, leading his men to leave quickly. They frowned as they watched the other party leave. The other party's strength had exceeded their expectations. Wow, Brother Wang, your men are so powerful. They killed so many ghost dragons and netherclaw. However, on the side, Shui Linglong looked at this scene with a shocked expression. As the princess of the Water Dragon Palace, she was familiar with the Fire Dragon Palace's Fire Cloud, Dragon Eagle, and the Demon Dragon lineages Netherclaw and Ghost Dragon. These were the high-level dragon species of the two forces. The high-level dragon species had powerful talents and life-saving means. It was extremely difficult to kill them. It wasn't an exaggeration to say that even a level 5 Universe Venerable would find it extremely difficult to kill a level 3 Netherclaw. This was because they possessed powerful talents and powerful life-saving methods. But just now, more than 100 Netherclaws and Ghost Dragons had fallen in front of her, causing her to be dumbfounded. Since when were high-level dragons so easy to kill? This was an existence second only to a purebred divine dragon, as expected of a high-grade dragon species. Despite knowing their location, they only managed to assassinate 100 or so of them. Wang Xian shook his head when he saw the results. Of course, he also knew that this was mainly because the spike dragons were weaker than the other party. But from the side, one could see how powerful the ghost dragon Netherclaw was. Especially after they took out postnatal treasures, they could easily break through the defense of the Sky Formation. Dragon King, the combined strength of the Netherclaw and the ghost dragon is much stronger than ours. Our chances of success this time are not high. At this time, Roving Demon flew over and reported with a frown. It's already not bad, Wang Xian said with a smile. Ghost Dragon and Netherclaw were the strongest legions of the Demon Dragon bloodline, but the Spike Dragon was only one of the many legions in the Dragon Palace. Given the current strength of the Dragon Palace, it shouldn't be too much of a problem to fight the Demon Dragon bloodline alone. In terms of direct combat strength, the Dragon Palace still had Berserk Dragons, Imperial Dragons, Starwood Dragons, Earthly Lightning Dragons, and Phoenixes. These were all peak dragon species. At present, there were no weak dragon species in the Dragon Palace. This is already very powerful. High-grade dragon species were also powerful existences at the peak of the Divine Dragon bloodline. There are less than 300 high-level dragon species in our Water Dragon Palace. Shui Linglong continued from the side. Just as Shui Linglong said, when the Divine Dragon bloodline was at its peak, the high-level dragon species were also very strong. At that time, the most elite legion of a powerful dragon palace was also a high-level dragon species legion. The core peak dragon species legion was like the current Netherclaw ghost dragon. It was already not bad for a powerful dragon palace to have a few hundred of them. Boom, boom, boom. Just as they were talking, a terrifying battle broke out in the sky above the east gate of the Water Dragon Palace. Wang Xian looked over and his eyes flickered. Netherclaw Ghost Dragon is here to support. An angry roar sounded, which made Wang Xian and the others smile. Damn it, Demon Dragon bloodline. Where are your people? In less than 10 seconds, an angry voice was heard. Hee hee hee. The Netherclaw ghost dragon has suffered such a huge loss. I guess it's running away now. Shui Linglong was excited when she heard it. Let's go over and take a look, Wang Xian said to Shui Linglong. He moved and immediately flew towards the east gate of the Water Dragon Palace. When he flew over, he saw that the battle had ended. A group of experts from the Fire Dragon Palace walked away. How dare you be so arrogant here? Trash from the Fire Dragon Palace. Don't run. An expert from the Water Dragon Palace roared with anger and disdain. Roar, roar, roar. Angry roars resounded in the sky as the experts from the Fire Dragon Palace disappeared quickly. Humph. Below, the Water Dragon King and the Water Dragon Queen revealed a stern look. Father, mother. Shui Linglong saw them and came to the Water Dragon King with a smile. The Water Dragon Queen touched her daughter's face with a smile. Mother, you don't know. Brother Wang Xian's subordinates are very powerful. They killed more than 100 Netherclaw ghost dragons. Shui Linglong said excitedly. Huh, more than 100 Netherclaw ghost dragons? Her words shocked the Water Dragon King and the Water Dragon Queen as they looked at Wang Xian with astonishment. Yes, Brother Wang Xian is the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace. He's very powerful. Shui Linglong continued. Dragon King of the Dragon Palace. The Water Dragon King and the Water Dragon Queen paused for a moment and looked at each other. They were both surprised, but they also expected it. They had guessed it just now. Thank you, Dragon King of the Dragon Palace, for your help. Otherwise, we wouldn't have dared to confront them head-on. The Water Dragon King cupped his fist at Wang Xian and thanked him. You're welcome. I would also like to experience the strength of the other divine dragon lineages, Wang Xian said with a smile. His words shocked the Water Dragon King and the Water Dragon Queen. They knew that the Dragon King in front of them was also ambitious. Haha, let's go. Dragon King, you have saved my daughter and helped us greatly. From now on, the Water Dragon Palace will be the best friend of the Dragon Palace. If the Dragon Palace needs any help in the future, the Water Dragon Palace will not decline. The Water Dragon King laughed and gestured. Wang Xian nodded with a smile and walked in together. Roar, roar, roar. However, in the dark devil dragon world far away, angry roars were heard. Chapter 3239. Please remember this site's domain name, Booksy Pavilion, and find your way home. Demon Dragon King, what do you mean by this? Our Fire Cloud Dragon Eagle was attacked by the Water Dragon Palace and asked for your support. Why didn't your people help? The Fire Dragon Lord swayed his huge body in the Demon Dragon Dark World and roared coldly. Fire Dragon Lord, shut up. More than 100 of our Netherclaw ghost dragons have died, and we still need your support? The Demon Dragon King stared at the Fire Dragon Lord and roared angrily. Didn't you say that you found out about the Water Dragon Palace's strength? Why can they launch such a terrifying attack on us and still attack us when they attack you? Can the West Water Tribe and the Water Hidden Tribe do it? The Demon Dragon King was also furious. When he learned that more than 100 of Netherclaw and Ghost Dragons had died, his expression was extremely ugly. They were high-level dragons of the Demon Dragon bloodline. It was heart-wrenching to lose one, let alone more than 100. Netherclaw and Ghost Dragon were the core experts of the Demon Dragon bloodline in the future. They were important trump cards for them to enter the chaotic continent in the future. How is that possible? Ghost Dragon and Netherclaw's abilities can be assassinated? The Fire Dragon Lord's expression changed slightly, his face full of disbelief. The Demon Dragon King's expression didn't change as he stared at the Fire Dragon Lord. According to the news we received, there is a powerful formation master, a powerful archer, an assassin, and a strange dragon species in the Water Dragon Palace. According to their senses, the other party is a very powerful dragon species. The Demon Dragon King said coldly after pondering for dozens of seconds. How is that possible? I know the Water Dragon Palace's background very well. The Fire Dragon Lord frowned. Then a figure appeared in his mind and his expression changed slightly. Only that guy. Only that guy. There can't be anyone else. He thought of the young man who had ruined his plans and his eyes were filled with killing intent. The Water Dragon Palace should have found helpers, but I'm not sure who they are. The Fire Dragon Lord said with a gloomy face. Regardless of whether they have helpers or not, just the strength that the Water Dragon Palace has displayed is not something that we can destroy. The Demon Dragon King said with an embarrassed expression. This time, not only were they unable to obtain any benefits, but they also suffered heavy losses. I can't accept this. I've been preparing for over 10,000 years, and I was just about to succeed. But someone interfered. The Fire Dragon Lord roared ferociously. In order to destroy the Water Dragon Palace, he had prepared for a long time, but at the critical moment, he had been destroyed one after another. Unless you can find another helper, but an additional helper means that you'll need to allocate more resources. The Demon Dragon King's face sank as he stared at the Fire Dragon Lord. Now, the Divine Dragon lineage, which called itself the Ancestral Dragon lineage, had already stepped into the primordial continent. Moreover, they had already reached the level of a high-level race in the universe. The Ancestral Dragon was the strongest force in the Divine Dragon lineage. They had many purebred Divine Dragons. In addition to the Ancestral Dragon, there was also the Sacred Dragon Clan. However, the Sacred Dragon Clan had already entered the Great Wilderness continent and attached themselves to the Radiant Angels. Apart from these two Divine Dragons, there were the Fire Dragon Palace, the Water Dragon Palace, the Devil Dragon Palace, the Crimson Gold Battle Dragon, and the Tempest Divine Dragons. And the Dragon Palace that they didn't understand. Do you think that the helpers of the Water Dragon Palace are from the Dragon Palace? Thinking of the Dragon Palace, the Fire Dragon Lord narrowed his eyes and guessed. Dragon Palace? According to the information we received, the Dragon Palace isn't very strong and isn't qualified to fight against us. The Demon Dragon King was taken aback and replied, not necessarily. The improvement of the Divine Dragon lineage isn't something that other races can compare to. Rumor has it that the Dragon Palace also has purebred Divine Dragons. The Fire Dragon Lord shook his head, his eyes gleaming. Then what should we do now? The Demon Dragon King asked faintly. Change the target to the Tempest Divine Dragon lineage. The Fire Dragon Lord gritted his teeth and said, the Tempest Divine Dragons were relatively weak in the current Divine Dragon lineage. It would be easier to destroy them. Fire Dragon Lord, are you about to break through? The Demon Dragon King stared at the Fire Dragon Lord and narrowed his eyes with a hint of vigilance. Why? Are you afraid? If the Divine Dragon lineage wants to improve quickly, the best way is to destroy the other Divine Dragon lineages. The Ancestral Dragon lineage only gained its current strength because it subdued the other Divine Dragon lineages. The resources of the other Divine Dragon lineages are all opportunities for us. They might help us break through. The Fire Dragon Lord said faintly, ha ha ha, all right. Let's destroy the Tempest Divine Dragon lineage. They aren't as strong as the Water Dragon Palace. As long as you can break through their Dragon Palace, we will be able to destroy them very quickly. The Demon Dragon King laughed. Don't worry. There won't be any problems this time. The Fire Dragon Lord said in an eerie voice as his figure slowly disappeared. Since you're so anxious to destroy the other Divine Dragon lineages, it seems like you've reached the opportunity to break through. Let's see who will break through first. Hee hee. He smiled sinisterly and slowly disappeared into the dark Demon Dragon's world. In the depths of the Demon Dragon's dark world, a huge crimson pupil flashed. Ha ha ha, Dragon King, thank you for your help this time. I guess the Fire Dragon Palace and the demonic dragon lineage won't dare to be arrogant around us. At the same time, the Water Dragon King smiled and said to Wang Xian in the Water Dragon Palace. This time, the demonic dragon lineage suffered heavy losses. They should know that the Water Dragon Palace had powerful helpers. Under such circumstances, they wouldn't dare to attack the Water Dragon Palace. They might even give up. It's just a small favor. You don't have to be so polite. Wang Xian shook his head and said with a smile, haha, it's not a small favor. You saved my daughter's life. The Dragon King is the benefactor of the Water Dragon Palace. The Water Dragon Queen shook her head and waved her hand to the side. A dozen members of the Water Dragon Palace moved boxes and placed them in front. Dragon King, this is a small token of my appreciation. Please accept it. The water dragon queen smiled and said, "In that case, I won't reject it. I'll accept it." Wang Xian hesitated for a moment before smiling. He waved his arm and kept it. Haha, a toast to the Dragon King. If the Dragon Palace is in trouble in the future, the Water Dragon Palace will do our best to help. The Water Dragon King laughed and said, "Thank you, Dragon King." The surrounding experts of the Water Dragon Palace expressed their gratitude. "No need," Wang Xian said politely. "Hee, thank you, Dragon King, for saving my life this time. Let me propose a toast to you." Shui Linglong sat beside him and said with a smile. Wang Xian smiled. Next, Shui Linglong brought him around the Water Dragon Palace for 2 days. To Wang Xian's disappointment, the Fire Dragon Palace and the demonic dragon lineage seemed to have given up on the Water Dragon Palace. There was no war. Chapter 3240. I'm going back. On the 3rd day, Wang Xian bade farewell to Shui Linglong as he did not want to stay here any longer. Huh, brother Wang Xian is going back? Shui Linglong looked at him and asked reluctantly. Yes, I still have some matters to settle in the Dragon Palace. Wang Xian nodded. He could not possibly stay here forever. Then, can I go to the Dragon Palace to take a look? I haven't been to other Dragon Palaces. How about it, brother Wang Xian? Shui Linglong grabbed his arm and asked coquettishly. Ahem, this? Sure. Tell your father and mother about it. Wang Xian hesitated for a moment before nodding. Hee, don't worry. My father and mother will definitely agree if I follow you out. Shui Linglong smiled and said, Let's go. Wang Xian nodded his head helplessly and brought him out of the place. Wang. He waved his arm and kept Shui Linglong in the mother nest. The next moment, he appeared in the Dragon Palace. Wow, is this your Dragon Palace, brother Wang Xian? After releasing Shui Linglong, she exclaimed with an excited look on her face. I still have some matters to settle. I'll get someone to bring you around, Wang Xian said to her. Yeah. Yes. Brother Wang Xian, go ahead with your work. Shui Linglong obediently nodded her head. Wang Xian called Roving Girl over and asked her to bring Shui Linglong around. He went to the Dragon Palace. Prime Minister Turtle, I'm here. Sitting on the dragon throne, Prime Minister Turtle came to him immediately. How's the situation with the Hornseal race? Wang Xian asked. The Dragon Palace should have made some preparations over the past few days. Dragon King, we have raised the strength of Orochi to the 5th Order Universe Venerable Realm. Now he has penetrated deep into the Hornseal race and is parasitizing an elder of the Hornseal race. He is looking for an opportunity to parasitize the pinnacle experts of the Hornseal race. Prime Minister Turtle reported immediately. In addition, the rest of the venomous horn dragons have parasitized the Hornseal race and the Sheiji race on a large scale. In another 5 to 6 days, we should be able to strike. Yeah. Wang Xian nodded slightly upon hearing Prime Minister Turtle's report. Annihilating the Hornseal race would greatly improve the Dragon Palace. We must be fully prepared to completely annihilate the Hornseal race and the Sheiji race. Wang Xian said coldly. An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, blood for blood, for any force that wanted to destroy the Dragon Palace. It's Dragon King. Prime Minister Turtle replied solemnly. Xiao Xian, who is the little beauty that just arrived in our Dragon Palace? At this moment, a voice sounded. Wang Xian looked over and saw Guan Shuqing, Lan Qingyue, and the rest walking over. They were scrutinizing him from head to toe. This is the princess of the Water Dragon Palace. She is also of the Divine Dragon bloodline, a purebred water divine dragon. Seeing their expressions, Wang Xian's face darkened and he immediately explained, Is that so? Is it because you haven't had a concubine for a long time, so you want to find one? Or is our Dragon Palace going to have a marriage alliance with the Water Dragon Palace? Guan Shuqing waited for him and mocked him. How could that be? I just happened to go to the Water Dragon Palace, and Shui Linglong wanted to follow me, so I brought her here to take a look. Wang Xian said hurriedly. It's definitely not a good thing to bring a girl here. The rest of the girls snorted and rolled their eyes at him. This made Wang Xian feel very wronged. Am I that kind of person? However, Shui Linglong was the prettiest girl he had met in recent years. especially since she was a purebred water divine dragon. She had a unique temperament. Wang Xian walked over and coaxed her immediately. In the end, none of the girls believed him, which made him feel very helpless. A few hours later, Wang Xian brought a group of girls and Shui Linglong to have a meal together. Shui Linglong looked at Guan Shuqing and the rest. She didn't have any strange expressions. She called them sisters, which made it hard for them to continue to put on a cold face and chat with her with a smile. This made Wang Xian heave a sigh of relief. Perhaps Shui Linglong didn't mean that. In the next few days, Shui Linglong had been wandering around the Dragon Palace. When she was in the Water Dragon Palace, she was a princess and no one accompanied her. In the Dragon Palace, there were people she could chat with, especially with Hua and Kaier. Wang Xian saw that he had some free time and was constantly paying attention to the situation over at Orochi. On the third day, the Dragon Palace underwent a major relocation. They moved from the Milky Way to the ocean where the Heavenly Dragon Clan used to be. Now that the forces in the galaxy knew that the Dragon Palace was coming to their side, they hurried over to pay their respects and offer their treasures. After all, the strength displayed by the Dragon Palace was too shocking, especially after the Dragon Palace annihilated the experts of the Horned Seal race and the other two clans. Dragon King, something big happened in the Continental Encirclement Galaxy. On the fourth day, Prime Minister Turtle suddenly reported a piece of shocking news to Wang Xian. The strength of the current Dragon Palace had reached the middle level of the universe and was an invincible existence in the Galaxy Encirclement Galaxy. They had already set their sights on the Continental Encirclement Galaxy. Prime Minister Turtle received a piece of shocking news that shook the Continental Encirclement Galaxy. The Fire Dragon Palace and the Devil Dragon lineage had joined forces and annihilated the Wind and Thunder lineage. As the once pinnacle race in the universe, the situation of the Divine Dragon lineage was still highly valued by the major races. In particular, the rapid rise of the Divine Dragon lineage had shocked and frightened many races. The Wind and Thunder Divine Dragon lineage had risen hundreds of millions of years ago. Their strength was only considered average in the Continental Encirclement Galaxy. They only had 2 rank 5 universe venerables, which wasn't very strong. However, the Divine Dragon lineage in the Continental Encirclement Galaxy had a treasure that made all forces jealous: the Dragon Palace. Because of the existence of the Dragon Palace, even the forces that had the strength to land on the continent didn't dare to offend them. This was because they couldn't break the defense of the Dragon Palace. If they couldn't break it, it meant that they couldn't annihilate it. Once they couldn't annihilate the other party, they would suffer a revenge that no force could withstand. It was also because of this that the Divine Dragon lineage had a high status in the Continental Encirclement Galaxy. However, today, a shocking news spread. The Wind and Thunder Divine Dragon lineage had been annihilated by the Fire Dragon Palace and the Devil Dragon lineage. This was a major event for many forces. Ever since he returned from the Water Dragon Palace, Wang Xian had reminded Prime Minister Turtle to pay attention to the other Divine Dragon lineage. To his surprise, the Devil Dragon lineage and the Fire Dragon Palace had annihilated another Divine Dragon lineage so quickly. Why are they in such a hurry to annihilate the other Divine Dragon lineage? Is there such a huge grudge? Wang Xian mumbled to himself as he read the news. His eyes were sparkling. Dragon King, there's news from the Orochi. They said they can make their move. At this time, Prime Minister Turtle saw the information on the smart computer and immediately reported to Wang Xian. Chapter 3241. Can we act now? Wang Xian sat in Dragon Palace, looking at Prime Minister Turtle's report with a smile. Orochi has already parasitized an enemy rank 5 venerable. According to Orochi, the Horned Seal race has another hidden rank 5 venerable, a total of 7. He is confident that he can kill 2 of the same level the moment the war breaks out. Prime Minister Turtle said with a smile. That means there are 4 more rank 5 venerables: Tianjun, Xiaolon, Aojin. They can easily deal with the other 4. Just to be safe, I'll go too. Wang Xian pondered for a while before saying. With Dragon Palace's current strength, even if he did not act, they could wipe out the Horned Seal race and the Sheiji race. But just in case, he was prepared to act. There was a slight risk in heading straight to the enemy's nest. As a powerful mid-tier race, They had a deep foundation and might have treasures that could fight against rank 6 venerables. But Dragon Palace had a strong advantage, Orochi. Orochi had already parasitized a pinnacle expert of the Horned Seal race. He knew all the trump cards of the Horned Seal race. With Orochi's help, everything would be much simpler. Order all members to get ready. Wang Xian stood up and said solemnly, "Yes, Dragon King." Prime Minister Turtle replied immediately, So. Soon, within the Dragon Palace's Dragon Field, a group of Dragon Palace leaders and universe supremacies were all standing there waiting. Other than the venerables of Dragon Palace, there were only tens of thousands of shamans. This was the team that Dragon Palace was sending out. The ordinary members of other battalions were not allowed to participate, because there was no need. As long as there were more than 10,000 shamans, their strength would be at the Ninth Order God Emperor realm. But with the support of acquired spiritual treasures, these 10,000 shamans could fight against several hundred First Order Cosmos Paragons, and even Rank 2 Paragons. And now, after several upgrades, the number of venerables in Dragon Palace had reached nearly 4,000. Such a number, even among the mid-level races in the universe, was not weak. After all, there were only 5,000 to 6,000 venerables in Water Dragon Palace. Let's go, we will rush over. Wang Xian swept his gaze across all his subordinates with satisfaction. So. They moved and instantly flew to the sky above the Dragon Palace. Woo-woo. A muffled sound rang out, and two huge creatures floated in the void. Currently, Little Blue's body had already reached a length of 500 to 600 kilometers. He had already broken through to the Fifth Order Universe Venerable Realm. As for Little Otaku, he was one level weaker, a Universe Venerable Rank 4. At this moment, Little Blue's aura was abnormally terrifying. If Xiaolan's aura targeted the members of Dragon Palace, even Sky Array, Aogene, and the rest would feel suppressed. The ancient god Kuan breeder was a Kuan that fed on divine dragons, phoenixes, and other peak bloodlines. At the same level, purebred divine dragons were no match for Kuan. Only a mutated divine dragon could contend with a Kuan. Now, Xiaolan and Xiao Zhai might be the only two Kuan in the universe. Go. Wang Xian moved and leaped onto Xiaolan's body. The rest of the Dragon Palace members immediately flew to Xiaolan's house. Let's go. Our target is the Horned Seal race. Wang Xian patted Xiaolan's body and ordered plainly. Xiaolan had its own intellect, and its intellect was extremely high. Woo-woo. Upon hearing the order, Xiaolan let out a low roar, opened its mouth, and a black hole appeared in front of it. Xiaolan swayed its body and entered the black hole. Behind it, Xiao Zhai followed. In the next moment, their figures disappeared. Woo-woo. When they reappeared, they were already in another part of the void. Xiaolan let out a low roar, and another black hole appeared, and they entered it again. Xiaolan's method of traveling was extremely terrifying. Even Wang Xian with the unbeginning sacred wings was a far cry from it. In just 5 hours, they arrived at the Continental Encirclement Starry Sky. Once they arrived at the Continental Encirclement Starry Sky, they could often see spaceships, ships, and other flying devices shuttling through the void. Gosh, what's that? It's so terrifying. SSS, Galactic Beast. This is a galactic beast? What level is this galactic beast at? How can it be so terrifying? A horrifying black hole appeared in the void out of nowhere. At the side, on a spaceship that looked like a dragon boat, everyone's eyes narrowed when they saw the appearance of the black hole. However, when they saw the horrifying Xiaolan flying out from the black hole, they were horrified. Galactic beasts were not rare to the people of the Continental Encirclement Starry Sky. However, this was the first time they had seen such a huge galactic beast. With a body size of 500 to 600 kilometers, it was like a meteorite in the starry sky, emitting a horrifying aura. SSS, what kind of galactic beast is that? What level is it at? This is too horrifying. Is it the prehistoric beast from the Mountain Sea Meridian of the Chaotic Land? On the spaceship, everyone looked at the huge beast in horror. However, in the next moment, the figure of Xiaolan and Xiao Zhai disappeared from their sight. Its speed was too horrifying. What a powerful galactic beast. What kind of beast is that? Xiao Lan shuttled through the continental encirclement starry sky rapidly. When they passed by a planet, two old men were floating in the starry sky with their eyes flickering. Let's go. Call the experts of our clan and follow these two galactic beasts. Let's see if we can subdue and suppress them, one of the old men said with a burning gaze. Faced with such a huge and horrifying galactic beast, they were also envious. If they could subdue and suppress them, how domineering would it be for their clan to ride on such a beast in the future? Their figures moved, and they immediately followed closely behind. Dragon King, someone is following us. At the same time, Prime Minister Turtle, who was on Xiao Lan's body, looked behind and said in a deep voice. Two figures were following behind them. Both of them had the strength of a rank 5 universe venerable. Wang Xian nodded his head slightly. He took a quick glance and ignored them. As Xiao Lan's body was too huge and its aura was horrifying, it was obvious that the two figures behind did not sense their presence. However, Wang Xian and the rest ignored them. A black hole appeared in front of them, and Xiao Lan and Xiao Zhai immediately disappeared. Huh, they have entered the black hole. Why can't I sense them? Seeing Xiao Lan and Xiao Zhai disappear into the black hole, everyone narrowed their eyes and looked solemn. As for the black hole, they did not dare to barge in recklessly. Look for them. They should be crossing the void in front of us. The two of them were unwilling to give up and flew forward quickly. Chapter 3242. Woo Woo. Within the continent encirclement starry sky, a deep roar resounded as Xiaolan flew towards the horned seal race. Many people were shocked to see Xiaolan shuttling through the starry sky. Very quickly, within the range of continent encirclement space, a piece of news spread through the universe's AI. Two incomparably huge star behemoths appeared in the western region. Some forces were interested in these two colossal astral beasts, and they quickly flew over. Even weak star behemoths possessed the strength to fight those with higher cultivation bases than them. It was almost impossible for someone with the same cultivation base to kill a star behemoth. The more powerful star behemoths could even contend against dozens of beings of the same grade. Their gigantic bodies and terrifying talents made countless races envious. Many races wanted to subdue a space beast for cultivation. Among them, the most famous race in the starry heavens was the ancient sea race, a race with more than 100 astral behemoths. The void beasts they possessed were called primordial swan beasts. In the past, they had used the great desolate young beasts as the vanguard, and all the clansmen had supported them with energy. They directly charged into the base of a mid-level universe power, directly tearing apart the mid-level universe race. The giant star beasts were extremely attractive to many races. Not long ago, even the princess of the Water Dragon Palace personally led a group of powerhouses to subdue the fierce dragon 10-headed giant beast. Unfortunately, they were ambushed by the Fire Dragon Palace in the end, and the Scarlet Dragon 10-headed giant beast was obtained by the Fire Dragon Palace. From this, one could see how attractive a giant star beast was to the various races. When the experts of some forces received this news, they naturally wanted to investigate and see if they could subdue and suppress it. Dragon King, we're here. The nest of the horned seal race is just ahead. However, just as some forces in the continental starry sky were coveting Xiaolan's house. On Xiaolan's body, Prime Minister Turtle reported to Wang Xian. Is Orochi ready? Wang Xian squinted his eyes and asked with a smile. It's ready. The Orochi has gathered many experts of the horned seal race and the Sheiji race with the news of Little Lawn and the others appearing in the continental encirclement space. Once we appear, the experts of the horned seal race and the Sheiji race will soon arrive. Prime Minister Turtle nodded. All right. Wang Xian squinted his eyes and looked ahead. There were many planets in the surrounding void, and many experts and flying machines were shuttling through the starry sky. They had already arrived at the interior of the horned seal race's starry domain. The surrounding planets were all inhabited by the horned seal race. I can't believe these two star behemoths appeared in the territory of our horned seal race. Report this to our lord and the others immediately. Quick, report to the elders in the clan. If they go berserk, we won't be able to stop them. The experts on the surrounding planets were shocked as they watched Xiao Lan's house fly past them. At the same time, countless powerhouses gathered on the core planet of the horned seal race. According to the news from the front, the two giant star beasts are flying in our domain. If they don't change their direction, they will most likely reach us. On a huge platform that towered into the clouds on the planet, an old man looked at his subordinate's report and said, "Do you know what kind of giant star beast it is?" An expert from the horned seal race asked, "I don't know yet. It's huge, at least 500 to 600 kilometers long." Someone on the AI guessed that it's a terrifying existence that flew out from the desolate land's mountain sea meridian. The old man shook his head. If one of the two giant star beasts has the power of a rank 5 universe venerable, and the other has the power of a rank 4 universe venerable, I think we might be able to give it a try. In the middle, an old man holding a crescent weapon said faintly. He looked at the middle-aged man beside him and said, "Patriarch, what do you think?" "I think we can give it a try. With the strength of the 7 of us, we still stand a chance." The horned seal race patriarch's eyes flickered as he said. The attraction of the giant star beasts was too great. Upon hearing his words, the elder with the crescent moon weapon curled his lips slightly. He ordered, "Get everyone to prepare. Call the Sheiji clan over as well. Their abilities can be of some help. If we can succeed this time, it will be a considerable improvement for us." "Yes, Laozu." Several old men around him immediately responded. "Should we prepare the Eye of Taboo?" A dignified old man hesitated for a moment before asking, "There's no need. If we use the Eye of Taboo, even if we can suppress it, we won't be able to subdue it." The old man holding the crescent weapon frowned and shook his head. "That's true." The old man nodded. The group stood on the high platform in the sky and looked ahead quietly. Soon, the Sheiji race's universe venerables flew over. "Are we confident in suppressing that giant star beast?" The old woman leading the Sheiji race flew over and asked solemnly. "We'll decide based on the situation. If that giant star beast is too strong, there's no need for us to act rashly." The horned seal race patriarch said. The surrounding people nodded slightly. Woo-woo. However, at this moment, a low roar was heard. Two giant beasts appeared in their line of sight. "What giant star beast is this? How can it be so huge?" When the two giant star beasts appeared in their line of sight, the horned seal race and Sheiji race's eyes narrowed. Too huge. This aura, it should be a rank 5 universe venerable. However, an ordinary rank 5 universe venerable can forget about going against that giant star beast. The horned seal race patriarch immediately analyzed. "They're flying towards us? What are they trying to do?" At this moment, they suddenly realized that the two giant star beasts were flying towards them. This caused the horned seal race's expression to change slightly. "A rank 5 universe venerable star beast. We can try to suppress it," the old man holding the crescent weapon said with his eyes shining. The rest nodded slightly, their eyes burning with passion. Here, the horned seal race had the geographical advantage. Yet, the two giant star beasts were still flying over recklessly. This was a huge opportunity for them. Perhaps they could suppress it. "Hee. Get ready, let's go." Wang Xian, who was on Xiao Lan's body, saw the experts of the horned seal race and the Sheiji race. There were more than 3,000 universe venerables gathered together. Woo-woo-woo, woo-woo. Hearing the order, Lil Blue's dusky eyes shone brightly. They suddenly opened their huge mouths and a black hole appeared. The black hole expanded at a terrifying speed, as though it was going to swallow the entire world. Kuan Domain. Chapter 3243. Due to unknown reasons, Sogu is unable to find this site today. Dear readers, please remember this site's domain name, Sea of Books, and find your way home. Kuan Domain. Kuan Domain was a terrifying ability that Little Blue had possessed a long time ago. He was able to pull the entire area into his domain. Within his domain, he possessed terrifying might. When Little Blue's Kuan Domain spread out, it immediately enveloped the entire planet of the horned seal race. He had established an independent space in this part of the starry sky. Huh, what ability is this? These space beasts are actually attacking us? Did it pull us into this strange domain? No, it should be these two space beasts sensing the threat. Get ready to fight and suppress these two space beasts. Once they are suppressed, our horned seal race will receive a huge boost. The experts of the horned seal race did not panic when they were suddenly enveloped in this strange space. The space beasts in front of them were around the Fifth Order Universe venerable realm. With their strength, they could contend against them. How dare they charge towards us? Courting death. Kill. The horned seal race patriarch's eyes emitted a terrifying murderous aura as he roared, "Kill." The remaining 3,000 experts of the horned seal race and the snake charmer race gripped their weapons tightly as a vast aura surged towards Little Blue's house. The old man wielding the crescent weapon emitted a golden radiance. At this moment, everyone from the horned seal race stared at the approaching space beasts and prepared to attack. PFFF, 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 PFFF. However, just as the horned seal race patriarch was about to give the order to attack, a series of sounds of attacks were heard. The horned seal race patriarch only felt a terrifying weapon slicing through his body, quickly dissolving his life force. Beside the horned seal race, a supreme elder of the horned seal race was pierced by a pitch-black arm. Behind them, the horned seal race's members suddenly attacked their companions. This sudden scene shocked everyone from the horned seal race. Kill. However, at this moment, the experts from the Dragon Palace flew out from Little Blue's body and launched a series of terrifying attacks towards them. What? All of the horned seal race beings were stunned by this sudden turn of events. Patriarch, there are people on the giant star beast. They're here to attack us. Be careful. Supreme Elder, what are you doing? In an instant, the entire horned seal tribe fell into chaos, and everyone's faces were filled with terror. The great elder wielding the crescent moon weapon suddenly attacked the patriarch and another great elder. Just now, when everyone had released all their might and were ready to attack, who would have thought that their grand elder would suddenly attack their own people? This was completely unguarded. Even their patriarch had no time to react before he was sliced into two. The one who made a move was their grand elder. No one had expected such a thing to happen. Moreover, what made their faces even uglier was that there were a large number of powerhouses on the giant starry sky beast. This made them instantly guess that this was a conspiracy against the horned seal race. Old Luo, what are you doing? A supreme elder stared at the old man with the crescent moon weapon in disbelief and shouted sternly, "Hee, die." At this time, the horned seal race supreme elder with the crescent moon weapon let out a sinister smile and attacked the rear again. He's no longer our horned seal race supreme elder. Attack? The horned seal race rank 5 venerable beside him had a drastic change in expression as he shouted sternly, "Horned seal race, Sheiji race, die." The group of horned seal race experts wanted to attack Orochi, which was parasitizing the horned seal race supreme elder. However, at this time, Wang Xian and the rest had already rushed over with terrifying might. Rumble. Waves of terrifying energy blasted towards them, which made everyone's expression change drastically. Who are you? Why are you plotting against the horned seal race? A rank 5 venerable stared at the front and swept his gaze across the slain patriarch and the rest. His heart was pounding violently as he roared with an ugly expression. Woo woo woo. Awaiting his response were the roars of the group of Dragon Palace experts and Xiao Lan's low growl. When the group of Dragon Palace experts rushed over, Xiao Lan's figure disappeared and reappeared behind the horned seal race experts. This was Xiao Lan's territory. Within this territory, his speed could be boosted to a terrifying level. Hehehe. Kill. Yamada no Orochi flew towards the back. Those at the back were all weaker than him. In an instant, he opened a path of blood and flew towards Xiaolan. A group of over 300 venom horn dragons floated behind him with smiles on their faces. In that instant, they had killed 700 to 800 venerables from the horned seal race. Especially Yamada no Orochi. He killed 2 level 5 universe venerables. Most importantly, the horned seal race's patriarch had been killed. 5 elements grindstone, suppress. Divine dragon formation, rise. Wang Xian revealed a smile as he waved the 5 elements grindstone, turning it into a terrifying grindstone that crushed forward. Damn it! Block them! Block them! They're from Dragon Palace. They're from Dragon Palace. More than 3,000 universe venerables of the Horned Seal race and Sheiji race saw this scene, and their faces were filled with shock. The remaining 4 rank 5 venerables were extremely gloomy as they immediately defended against the attacks of Wang Xian and the rest. Rumble, rumble, rumble. The 4 rank 5 venerables met the attacks of Wang Xian's Sky Formation and Ao Jin. Ka ka ka. However, under the confrontation of the two forces, they were horrified to realize that they were at a complete disadvantage. Oh no, the other party's attack is stronger than ours. Damn it, we've been tricked. One of the rank 5 venerables bellowed with a darkened expression. They had been tricked. The galactic beasts were from Dragon Palace. Dragon Palace had come to annihilate them. Most importantly, there were experts from Dragon Palace who had impersonated their supreme elders. Even when their patriarch and the rest were killed in an instant, they did not take out their treasures. Woo-woo. At this time, Xiao Lan let out a low growl and charged towards them. Attack him! Seeing the galactic beasts flying over from behind, the venerables from both races roared. Their bodies shook, and a vast power of the law attacked Xiao Lan. All sorts of metal longswords and spears seemed to tear the space apart as they landed on Xiao Lan's body in an instant. However, to their horror, their attacks did not leave any marks on the galactic beasts. Chapter 3244. This galactic beast is terrifying. The attacks of over 1,000 universe venerables landed on Lil Blue. However, what shocked them was that their attacks didn't leave a single mark on Lil Blue's body. This caused all of their expressions to change drastically. Among the 1,000 over universe supremacies, there were even rank 4 supremacies attacking. Even such attacks could not break through the beast's defenses. One could only imagine how terrifying it was. Boom! Xiao Lan's body emitted a grayish energy as its huge body slammed towards them. Within the Kuren domain, Xiao Lan's speed was terrifying. Bam! 500 to 600 kilometers long, terrifying speed. Over 1,000 supremacies did not even have time to dodge. All the supremacies felt as though an extremely vast meteorite had struck their bodies. A vast and unstoppable force surged towards their bodies. Bam, bam, bam. Terrifying sounds of collision could be heard as the bodies of the universe supremacies were sent flying backwards like dust. Their bodies were completely deformed, and the vitality in their bodies seemed to have disappeared in an instant. In an instant, over 1,000 supremacies died under Xiao Lan's attack. What? SSS, be careful of that beast. Its attacks are terrifying. A 5th Order venerable looked behind him with a horrified look on his face as he reminded loudly, "Take care of yourself first." At this moment, a voice rang in his ear. This caused the Horned Seal race's 5th Order venerable to narrow his eyes, and a look of shock appeared on his face. Bam! A terrifying dragon claw appeared in front of him and directly grabbed his body. Scram! The Horned Seal race supremacy's body shook as golden scales covered his body and emitted a terrifying golden glow. Ka ka ka. However, the terrifying dragon claw tightened its grip and blood seeped out from his scales. This caused the Horned Seal race supremacy to be filled with horror. Third brother. An enraged voice came from the side as a Horned Seal race supremacy's terrifying long tail attacked Wang Xian. Roar, roar. At this time, a golden dragon tail came up and collided with the long tail. Boom! A terrifying collision sound rang out, and the expression of the reinforcement expert changed drastically. Today is the day your Horned Seal clan and Snake Charmer clan will be destroyed. Today is the day you pay for wanting to destroy our Dragon Palace. A cold voice came from the mouths of the leaders of Dragon Palace. Dragon Palace's over 3,000 universe supremacies charged into the Horned Seal race and Sheiji race's experts. Woo-woo. Xiao Zhai swayed his massive body as he charged towards the experts of the Horned Seal clan and the Sheiji clan fearlessly. With Lil Otaku's defensive capabilities, no one would be able to injure him unless a rank 5 universe venerable made a move. Not good. We are no match for them. Break this space and escape. All disciples of the Horned Seal race, run. Seeing the galactic beast and the Dragon Palace expert charging over, The remaining 3 fifth-order venerables had a drastic change in expression as they roared. Run. From the very beginning, when someone controlled the bodies of the Horned Seal race's powerhouses to launch a surprise attack, they were already in chaos. Now that more than 1,000 universe supremacies had been killed, they knew that they couldn't win this battle. Now, they could only escape. The Horned Seal race's supremacies moved, immediately flying towards the edge of the Kuan domain. Woo-woo. However, within Xiaolan's domain, how could anyone of the same level be faster than him? He swayed his massive body as he charged towards a fifth-order venerable. Damn it! The Horned Seal race's fifth-order venerable saw that he was being targeted by the galactic beast, and his expression changed as he gritted his teeth. Roar! He transformed into a 3,000-meter battle form, covered in golden scales, and had a terrifying horn. A long golden tail, his entire body spun, and his horn glowed as he charged towards Xiaolan. Boom! The incomparably sharp horn pierced into Xiaolan's body, directly entering its body. Compared to Xiaolan, the Horned Seal race expert's body was like a mosquito compared to an elephant. However, his attack was terrifying as well, as his entire body entered Xiaolan's body. Roar, roar, roar. No, no, no. Don't. Very quickly, a horrifying scene unfolded. After entering the galactic beast's body, he was horrified to find that the torn parts were healing rapidly, and a terrifying force was pressing down on him. In the void, Little Blue's body slowly floated there, and a grayish energy was emitted to the surroundings. No. Finally, a desperate scream came from Xiaolan's body. What? That beast and Dragon Palace's Dragon King are terrifying. Hearing the scream, the Horned Seal race and Sheiji race's supremacies turned pale. Especially the Sheiji race, they were much weaker than the Horned Seal race. Facing such a situation, they could only wait to be slaughtered. Don't even think of leaving. All of you will stay here. Formation, rise. Tianzhan shouted coldly as a series of terrifying formations were formed. Ao Jin transformed into a golden dragon, wreaking havoc in the Kuan domain. Invincible. The Dragon Palace completely crushed all the experts of the two races. Wang Xian locked his gaze on a rank 5 supremacy and immediately charged over. With his terrifying speed and the support of the 5 elements grind, the rank 5 supremacy was killed in less than a minute. By the side, the Heavenly Formation had also killed the last rank 5 universe venerable. At this point, all the rank 5 supremacies of the Horned Seal race were killed. Wang Xian squinted his eyes as he looked around, revealing a smile. The following battles were much simpler. As he looked around, the supremacies were killed one after another. Dragon King, leave the rest to us. As the Supreme Elder of the Horned Seal race, I will gather all the resources of the Horned Seal race. Orochi flew over and said to Wang Xian. Huh. Wang Xian raised an eyebrow. Sure, we can gather more resources this way. Most of the supremacies of the Horned Seal race and Sheiji race had been killed. Next, it was time to collect the spoils of war. Orochi continued to live on the body of the Supreme Elder of the Horned Seal race to obtain more resources. For example, he could gather all the resources from the other planets of the Horned Seal race. This would also increase the rewards. This time, the Dragon Palace will get a huge boost. Wang Xian squinted his eyes and smiled. Chapter 3245. Due to unknown reasons, Sogu is unable to find us today. Dear readers, please remember our domain name and find your way home. What happened? What happened in the skies of our Horned Seal race? Why did the skies above suddenly turn into nothingness? What's going on? The changes in the skies above the Horned Seal race's main planet caused a huge change in the hearts of the disciples. The space beasts that suddenly flew towards them, the sudden appearance of the nothingness in space. This caused many disciples to be shocked. However, at this time, the nothingness disappeared and a few figures appeared. They were the Horned Seal race's supremacies. HM? Where's our tribe leader and the rest? What about the space beasts? The Horned Seal race disciples looked over, their faces filled with shock. So, at this time, the few figures in the skies flew towards the Horned Seal race's palace without any orders. Following which, an order was given to the entire horned seal race to gather all the resources. At the same time, amongst the tens of horned seal race members, a figure that did not belong to the horned seal race was hidden. All these changes were unknown to the horned seal race disciples. At this time, in space not far from the horned seal race, Wang Xian and the rest were preparing to rush back. Because Xiaolan could not instantly return to Dragon Palace, they had to fly back. Dragon King, we've collected over 3,000 universe supremacies corpses, of which there are 6 rank 5 supremacies and 13 rank 4 supremacies. On Xiaolan's body, Turtle Prime Minister said with a smile. Of the over 3,000 corpses, there were a total of 7 rank 5 supremacies, but the 8 branches occupied 1. These corpses were enough for Dragon Palace to improve tremendously. Other than these corpses, the Heaven Array was currently at the 8 branches side, searching for the other universe god nations. Just based on the corpses and god nation resources, Dragon Palace could add close to 5,000 universe supremacies. Other than that, there were also large amounts of resources from the Horned Seal race and the Snake Lady race. I wonder if these resources are enough to raise my strength. Wang Xian stood at the side, his eyes gleaming. If he could raise his strength this time, it wouldn't just be a simple 1-rank increase. Instead, it directly rose from a Universe Venerable Level 5 to a Universe Venerable Level 7. The 2 space beasts are back. Xiao Lan's small residence flew through the continent encirclement starry sky. The 2 old men who had been following behind were slightly startled when they sensed the aura ahead. They thought they had lost track of the 2 giant star beasts, but they didn't expect the 2 giant star beasts to fly over again. This caused the 2 to look at each other with excitement in their eyes. How long will it take for the experts of our clan to arrive? An old man asked with a fiery gaze. 10 minutes at most. This time, our clan elder has also come. Ha ha ha, with our clan elder's help, suppressing these 2 giant star beasts won't be a problem. The other old man glanced at the universe AI and laughed loudly. Looks like our luck is pretty good. Let's keep him occupied until the clan elder and the others arrive. As the 2 of them spoke, their eyes emitted a powerful light. They waved their arms, and a net of light appeared in front of them. The 2 of them looked at the 2 giant starry sky beasts that had already appeared in their line of sight with excitement in their eyes. Their Saintwen clan was an extremely powerful existence in the continent encirclement starry sky. It wouldn't be a problem for them to suppress the strongest rank 5 universe venerable starry sky beasts. Once they suppressed and subdued it, it would be a huge boost for their Saintwen clan. After all, such a huge and horrifying giant star beast would definitely be extraordinarily powerful. Be careful. Use the radiant holy net to trap it. The 2 of them reminded each other. Then, an incomparably huge net of light enveloped Xiaolan. Huh. At this moment, Wang Xian and the rest, who were on Xiaolan's body, were taken aback by the sudden attack from the radiant holy net. Their eyes revealed a cold look. Get lost. Prime Minister Turtle looked over and moved his body. He hovered above Xiaolan's body and warned the 2 old men in front of him. Huh. The 2 experts from the Saintwen clan who were attacking Xiaolan were taken aback as their eyes flickered. There's someone on the giant star beast. That creature is only a rank 3 universe venerable. An old man from the Saintwen clan narrowed his eyes and looked a little displeased. They had been following the giant star beast for a long time and were about to subdue it. However, they did not expect there to be someone on the giant star beast. Was the giant star beast already subdued, or was there something else? Test their strength. If they are strong, apologize and leave immediately. Don't expose your identity. The 2 old men from the Saintwen clan were a little unwilling as one of them said softly, "All right." The 2 of them nodded their heads but did not stop their actions. The radiant holy net continued to attack them. At the same time, their figures were completely shrouded by the light and their faces could not be seen clearly. If the other party was strong, they would leave immediately. If there was only one creature hovering in the air, they could consider their next move. Courting death. Wang Xian's eyes flashed coldly as he saw them still attacking. Woo-woo woo-woo. Xiao Lan's eyes were filled with anger as it opened its mouth and let out a low growl. In the next moment, a huge black hole appeared in front of it, and it entered the black hole. It's trying to escape. The other party doesn't seem to be strong. Attack! The two old men from the Saint Wen clan roared excitedly as their eyes lit up. Wang. However, in the next instant, a black hole appeared beneath them. An enormous mouth was trying to devour them. What? Watch out! Looking at the black hole that had appeared beneath them in an instant and the gigantic mouth, the two men's expressions changed slightly. They moved and wanted to hide to the side. However, a terrifying suction force came at them at this time, causing their eyes to narrow. Wings of light, break free from the shackles. The two of them roared at the same time, and a pair of wings of light appeared behind them. They tried to escape to the side. Trying to escape? Courting death. Walala. However, at this moment, numerous chains attacked them. The chains wrapped around their bodies instantly. Oh no, there's an expert. At this moment, the two old men from the Saint Wen clan were horrified as a bad premonition shrouded their hearts. Walala. Their bodies were completely entangled as they fell towards the terrifying giant starry sky beast. Chapter 3246. You're courting death. The chains on Xiaolan's body pierced through the bodies of the two rank 5 venerables from the Shangwen clan, severely injuring them. You. Let us go. We didn't mean to offend you. Please let us go. The two experts from the Shangwen clan were horrified and broke out in cold sweat. They screamed in horror. You asked for it. Wang Xian extended his hand, and a wave of energy surged into their bodies. Prime Minister Turtle had already given them a warning. Since they still dared to attack, they couldn't blame him for being merciless. Wang. Soul assimilation. Wang Xian's eyes flickered with a strange light, causing the two to tremble slightly. Summon your universe god nation, he ordered in a low voice. Yes, yes. The two of them answered in confusion. Two divine kingdoms slowly appeared. Ha ha ha, these two are really good people, sending resources from hundreds of millions of miles away. Roving Crab laughed heartily at the side with excitement written all over his face. Two rank 5 venerables god nations were sufficient for him to make a breakthrough, and the two corpses could increase the number of rank 5 venerables in the Dragon Palace. Shangwen clan. At this time, Wang Xian opened his eyes, which were flickering. The Shangwen clan was the force that the two rank 5 venerables belonged to. It was a rather well-known force in the continental encirclement starry sky. Their clan elder had a rank 6 venerables force. In the continental encirclement starry sky, a force with a rank 6 venerables force was considered strong. As for a force with a rank 7 venerables force, they could consider landing. This Shangwen clan wasn't weak. Both of them were core elders of the Shangwen clan. Wang Xian didn't take it to heart that the two of them were killed, disregarding the fact that the other party didn't know who killed them. So what if they knew? Soon, the Dragon Palace would welcome a major upgrade. At that time, the Shangwen clan wouldn't have to fear them. If they came for revenge, the Dragon Palace wouldn't hesitate to annihilate them. Dragon King, there's big news from the Starry Sky Divine Dragon lineage. Before he could rush back to the Dragon Palace, Prime Minister Turtle suddenly walked over and said with a trace of shock on his face, What's wrong? Wang Xian looked at him with curiosity. According to the information from the Continental Encirclement Star Brain Mountain, the Fire Dragon Palace and the Demon Dragon lineage are currently invading the Crimson Gold Battle Dragon lineage. Furthermore, it is suspected that the Scarlet Gold Battle Dragon is no match for the two Divine Dragons and has already surrendered. Prime Minister Turtle said with a solemn expression. The Fire God Palace and the Demonic Dragon lineage had invaded the two Divine Dragon lineages consecutively. This was a huge shock to the Divine Dragon lineage. For the entire continent encirclement starry sky, this was no small matter. They annihilated the Tempest Divine Dragons and now defeated the Crimson Gold Battle Dragons. The Fire Dragon Palace and the Demonic Dragon Palace are not simple. Wang Xian frowned slightly. Both the Wind and Thunder Divine Dragons and the Crimson Gold Battle Dragons had powerful dragon palaces. With the protection of the mighty Dragon Palace, how could it be destroyed so easily? In that case, there was only one explanation. The Fire Dragon Palace and the Demonic Dragon lineage had a way to break through the powerful Dragon Palace. They might have wanted to annihilate the Water Dragon Palace at first, But my appearance changed their target, Wang Xian guessed. As for the Fire Dragon Palace and the demonic dragon lineage, what were they going to do by annihilating the two divine dragon lineages in a frenzy? Resources? Massive resources that allowed them to improve rapidly? That was the only explanation. Moreover, after absorbing the two divine dragon lineages, the Fire Dragon Palace and the demonic dragon lineage would definitely improve tremendously. Dragon King. They have annihilated the forces of the divine dragon lineage one after another. I'm afraid they might target us. Prime Minister Turtle said. That's a possibility, but we don't have to worry. Even if they make a move, they might target the Water Dragon Palace first. Wang Xian said plainly. Most importantly, the strongest known expert of the Fire Dragon Palace and the demonic dragon lineage was only a rank 5 universe venerable. Wang Xian wasn't too worried about a rank 5 universe venerable, even if they had acquired postnatal cardinal treasures. Prime Minister Turtle nodded. With the resources obtained by the Dragon Palace this time, it wouldn't be a problem for the heavenly formation to have the strength of a rank 6 universe venerable. Xiao Lan continued shuttling through the void. Wang Xian took out the universe AI and browsed through the news about the Fire Dragon Palace and the demonic dragon lineage. Roar, roar, roar. At least you know what's good for you. Submit to us and avoid death. At the same time, in a golden ocean, golden seawater flowed. In the middle of this golden ocean, darkness shrouded the center. In the darkness, there were shadows of the demonic dragon flying in it from time to time, but they couldn't be seen clearly. However, this darkness made everyone feel fearful and fearful. Below the golden ocean that was shrouded in darkness was a massive golden dragon palace. The entire dragon palace was shining with golden light. But at this moment, in the Dragon King Hall of the Golden Dragon Palace, a huge fire divine dragon and demonic dragon were floating beside the dragon throne. In front, a group of crimson gold battle dragon experts were prostrating below. In the middle, there was a huge dragon head that was still bleeding profusely. That was the head of the Crimson Gold Battle Dragon, the Crimson Gold Dragon King. Although the Crimson Gold Dragon King wasn't a purebred divine dragon, he was at the pinnacle of the dragon species. But now, his head was severed. Go, bring all the resources in the Crimson Gold Battle Dragon Palace over. The Fire Dragon Lord's eyes were beaming with excitement as he ordered one of the Crimson Gold Battle Dragon experts below. Yes, yes, your highness, Fire Dragon Lord. That expert of the Crimson Gold Battle Dragon lineage responded immediately and walked to the back. Soon, large amounts of dragon bloodgrass and various resources were transported over. The Fire Dragon Lord stared at the resources with excitement and agitation. Ha ha ha, I want half of the resources. The rest belongs to you, demonic Dragon King. The Fire Dragon Lord shouted. With a wave of his arm, he took half of the resources and flew ahead immediately. The experts of the Fire Dragon Palace, the high-level dragon species, Fiery Cloud Dragon Eagle, followed by the Fire Dragon Palace and flew towards the Crimson Gold Battle Dragon. Ha ha ha, all of you, guard the surroundings. The Fire Dragon Lord came to a corner and set up a restriction with a wave of his arm. He stared at the resources in front of him as his body trembled slightly. Soon, I'll become the king of the Starry Sky Divine Dragon lineage. The Fire Dragon Lord's eyes were beaming with excitement as he bellowed. Since the Fire Dragon Lord is so excited and anxious, it seems like he's about to make a breakthrough. In the dark sky that shrouded the entire Crimson Gold Battle Dragon Palace, a faint voice sounded. Yes, Father. Are you? The demonic Dragon King, who was in the Dragon King Hall just now, was standing respectfully in front of an illusory figure. Chapter 3247. In the Dragon Palace of the Crimson Gold Battle Dragon, all the Crimson Gold Battle Dragons were under the control of the Fire Dragon Palace and the demonic dragon lineage. The Dragon King of the Crimson Gold Battle Dragon had been killed, and more than half of its core experts had been killed. The rest all submitted. Refusing to submit meant death. Currently, on the universe AI that surrounded the continental starry sky, everyone was filled with shock at the changes of the dragon god bloodline, annihilating the wind and thunder divine dragons and suppressing the Crimson Gold Battle Dragon. Currently, only the Fire Dragon Palace, the demon dragon lineage, and the Water Dragon Palace were in the continental encirclement starry sky. Many forces were paying attention to the situation of the Fire Dragon Palace and the demonic dragon lineage, making all sorts of guesses. However, 3 days later, roar suddenly came from the dragon palace of the Crimson Golden Battle Dragon. The roar was filled with a strong pressure that engulfed the entire Crimson Golden Battle Dragon Palace. At this moment, everyone's eyes narrowed as they looked towards the source of the sound in shock. Ha 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 ha. This dragon lord shall rule over the continental encirclement starry sky divine dragon bloodline. Everyone shall submit to this dragon lord. Soon after, a wild and excited voice was heard. The voice was filled with unscrupulousness. His words sent a shiver down the spines of the Crimson Golden Battle Dragon Palace. What is this Fire Dragon Lord doing? Some experts of the demon dragon lineage narrowed their eyes and murmured, boom, boom, boom. Just then, a vast power swept towards them, causing the expressions of everyone from the demonic dragon lineage to change slightly. Boom. The 60,000-meter-long Fire Dragon Lord flew over. It swayed its huge body and emitted an endless dragon aura. Demon Dragon King, quickly come and submit to this Dragon King. Today, your demon dragon bloodline will worship me as king. This dragon lord will lead you to the great, desolate continent. He raised his head and looked up at the sky. His eyes were filled with excitement as he roared arrogantly. What? Hiss. Fire Dragon Lord broke through. He now has the combat power of a universe venerable. Around them, the drakes were shocked. All the experts of the demon dragon lineage looked slightly embarrassed. However, the group of experts from the Fire Dragon Palace moved and immediately surrounded the Fire Dragon Lord. Their eyes were filled with passion. Their king had actually broken through. Once their Fire Dragon Lord broke through, he would be able to suppress the demon dragon bloodline with his strength. At that time, they would be able to set foot on the great desolate continent. Ha ha ha, Fire Dragon Lord, you are still as arrogant as ever. You just broke through, and you can't wait to suppress our demonic dragon bloodline. At the top, the demon dragon dark world enveloped the entire Crimson Gold Battle Dragon Palace. The demon dragon king's head slowly poked out and looked down at the Fire Dragon Lord. When the Fire Dragon Lord saw the mocking look on the demon dragon king's face, his eyes narrowed. Do you want me to suppress you? Or do you want to surrender obediently? He stared coldly at the demon dragon king in the sky. I think it's better for your Fire Dragon Palace to submit to our demonic dragon bloodline. The demon dragon king roared. Buzz. As soon as he finished his sentence, a humongous dark dragon claw slammed towards the Fire Dragon Lord. The Fire Dragon Lord's expression changed when he saw the demon dragon king attacking him. Roar, roar. You're courting death. He raised his head and sent a wave of terrifying dragon flames towards the dragon claw. Boom. The dragon flames collided with the demon dragon claw, creating a deafening sound. What? However, the Fire Dragon Lord's eyes narrowed in the next instant. The terrifying dragon claw extinguished the flames easily and continued its attack. Moreover, the dragon claw emitted an even more terrifying dark energy. This is impossible. Demon Dragon King, how can you be so strong? The Fire Dragon Lord's expression changed as he sensed the might of the demon dragon's claw. I don't have the strength to do so. The demon dragon king chuckled. Next to him, a humongous dragon head popped out from the darkness. It stared at the Fire Dragon Lord coldly. You're not bad. The supreme treasure in your hand broke through 2 dragon palaces. Submit to our demonic dragon bloodline. The humongous demon dragon head said plainly. Who? Who are you? Who are you? The Fire Dragon Lord roared in horror when he saw the terrifying existence that popped out from the demon dragon dark world. Me? I'll be your king in the future. The humongous demon head said plainly as its invincible dragon claw covered him. Oh no! The Fire Dragon Lord's expression remained unchanged, and he wanted to escape immediately. Wong. But at this moment, he felt his surroundings darken. He had completely fallen into a dark space. I'm done for. When he sensed the situation around him, his eyes were filled with fear and despair. He was enveloped by the demon dragon dark world. The demon dragon Dark World was created by the powerful demon dragon king. It was similar to the Dragon Palace and had similar effects. Once he entered it, he would be easily suppressed. He had entered the demon dragon Dark World with his doppelgangers previously. Roar, roar. At this moment, he heard a low growl. He saw the demon dragon king swaying his humongous body. Beside him, there was an even more humongous demon dragon. This made his eyes narrow and his expression change drastically. Brother Wang Xian, I'm going back to the Water Dragon Palace. At the same time, Wang Xian and the rest returned to the Dragon Palace in the galaxy. When he arrived at the Dragon Palace, Shui Linglong walked over and bade farewell to him. Her? Didn't you say you wanted to stay here for a few more days? Wang Xian raised his eyebrows and asked. No, Brother Wang Xian. Father and Mother want me to return as soon as possible. Besides, Father and Mother are worried about the Tempest Divine Dragon and Crimson Gold Battle Dragon. Shui Linglong shook her head. Wang Xian nodded. Shui Linglong waved her hand and disappeared gradually. Will the Crimson Gold Battle Dragon that suppressed the Tempest Divine Dragon and Crimson Gold Battle Dragon next? Wang Xian murmured. Order all the members to improve their strength first. He instructed Prime Minister Turtle beside him. Yes, Dragon King. Prime Minister Turtle nodded. As long as the Dragon Palace was stronger, they would be able to deal with the upcoming dangers. Time passed. 2 days later, another piece of shocking news came from the continent encirclement Starry Sky. The Fire Dragon Palace had submitted to the demonic dragon lineage. When this news came out, it caused quite a bit of shock. The Fire Dragon Palace had suddenly submitted to the demonic dragon lineage? What's going on? The 2 divine dragon lineages had just suppressed the other 2 forces. Now, they were fighting amongst themselves? The demonic dragon lineage had won? This caused everyone to be astonished. Wang Xian squinted his eyes when he saw this news. The Fire Dragon Palace has submitted to the demonic dragon lineage. There's only one possibility. The demonic dragon lineage has suppressed the Fire Dragon Palace. The demonic dragon lineage has a rank 6 universe venerable. He pondered. Chapter 3248. Fire Dragon Submitting, Demon Dragon Master. This news caused a huge uproar. Not only Wang Xian could guess it, other powers could also guess some problems. There was only one possibility for the Demon Dragon lineage to make Fire Dragon Palace submit. They were far stronger than Fire Dragon Palace. Fire Dragon Palace wasn't weak in continental encirclement space. It could even be said to be relatively strong. Once their Fire Dragon Lord broke through to rank 6 Venerable Realm, there was an 80% chance that he could step onto Chaos Continent. Because the God Dragon lineage had the advantage of Dragon Palace, they had terrifying combat power. Ordinary bloodline physiques couldn't compete with them at all. When Thunder God Dragon was destroyed, Crimson Gold Battle Dragon submitted, then Fire Dragon Palace. The Demon Dragon lineage controlled 3 Dragon Palaces. They controlled large amounts of resources. This was a huge boost to the Demon Dragon lineage. Is the Demon Dragon lineage going to unify continental encirclement space God Dragon lineage? Given their strength, they should be able to enter Chaos Continent now? The Demon Dragon lineage's strength can definitely enter Chaos Continent now, but they might continue to attack Water Dragon Palace and subdue the other God Dragon lineages. Other than Water Dragon Palace, there seems to be another Dragon Palace. I heard that Dragon Palace isn't weak either. The demonic dragon bloodline controls the way to open the other Dragon Palaces. In my opinion, they will definitely subdue and suppress the other divine dragon bloodlines. Once their strength reaches a terrifying level, they will enter the chaotic continent. On the universe AI, the disciples of countless powers and races were discussing. Now that the demon dragon lineage had come this far, the other powers could more or less guess their next move. The surrender of the Fire Dragon Palace also made all the disciples and experts of the Water Dragon Palace panic. Dragon King, all the resources are in hand. Within the Dragon Palace, Wang Xian looked at the information on the AI. At this moment, Prime Minister Turtle came to report. Oh? He raised his eyebrows and smiled. Are they back from the 8 Altars Sky Formation? Immediately, The sky formation sent news that most of the god nations have been found and are located in front of our dragon palace. I'm sending people to collect the treasures in those god nations, Prime Minister Turtle said. Very good. Wang Xian stood up immediately, his eyes blazing. Over 3,000 cosmos god countries, in addition to the resources of the upper horned seal snake race, it was enough to raise his strength. It could also greatly improve the dragon palace. Buzz. At this moment, his universe intelligence shook. Wang Xian looked over and saw the message from Shui Linglong. When he saw the content, he narrowed his eyes. The message sent by Shui Linglong was not a casual chat. Rather, she was discussing the current problems of the divine dragon lineage on behalf of her parents. Its main purpose was to form an alliance with the Dragon Palace, working together and directly announcing it on the universe's AI. The main purpose of this alliance was to protect themselves, because the Water Dragon Palace and many other races guessed that the Demon Dragon bloodline might deal with them and even the Dragon Palace. At this time, if the two great forces announced an alliance, it might cause the Demon Dragon bloodline to be wary. Sure. Wang Xian looked at the message and agreed without much hesitation. The Fire Dragon was determined to destroy him. He had also sent people to assassinate a high-level dragon of the Demon Dragon bloodline. This grudge had already been sown. Forming an alliance with the Water Dragon Palace would also be beneficial to the Dragon Palace. Prime Minister Turtle, announce on the AI in the name of the Dragon Palace that we will form an alliance with the Water Dragon Palace. Wang Xian instructed Prime Minister Turtle. Yes, Dragon King. Prime Minister Turtle nodded his head. I'll go take a look at the god nations ahead. As Wang Xian spoke, he made a move and flew forward. The god nations of the universe supremacies would definitely contain many treasures and resources. Father, Brother Wang Xian has agreed. He will immediately announce on the AI that he will form an alliance with us. In the Water Dragon Palace, Shui Linglong smiled when she saw Wang Xian's reply. The Water Dragon King and the Water Dragon Queen nodded slightly. I hope the Fire Dragon Palace and the Demon Dragon bloodline can be wary of our alliance. Otherwise, the Water Dragon Palace will still be in danger. The Demon Dragon bloodline will definitely have rank 6 experts. The Water Dragon Queen sighed and prayed. I'm curious, how did they open the Tempest Thunder Divine Dragon and Crimson Gold Battle Dragon Palace? What treasures do they have in their hands? The Water Dragon King said with an ugly expression. The Dragon Palace was the greatest trump card of the Divine Dragon bloodline. Now that the other party could break through their Dragon Palace, it was undoubtedly destroying their trump card. The Water Dragon Empress shook her head and frowned. She took out the Smart Brain and said, I will make a statement on the universe Smart Brain. The Dragon Palace is not weak, and they should be wary. Also, we need to be prepared. We can't rely on our Water Dragon Palace at critical times. The Water Dragon King nodded. The Demon Dragon bloodline caused such a huge commotion in the Fire Dragon Palace. All the races in the surrounding starry sky were paying attention. When the Dragon Palace and Water Dragon Palace made their announcement, it immediately attracted the attention of all races. The Water Dragon Palace and Dragon Palace actually formed an alliance. They are obviously wary of the current Demon Dragon bloodline. The Demon Dragon bloodline annihilated 2 races in a row. Even the Water Dragon Palace is afraid. I wonder what the Demon Dragon bloodline will do when the 2 forces form an alliance. The entire AI in the surrounding starry sky was in an uproar as they watched the battle of the divine dragons. Alliance? Dragon Palace? In the Demon Dragon Dark World, the Demon Dragon King sat on his throne and listened to his subordinates report. His eyes were filled with coldness. The Dragon Palace had annihilated more than 100 experts of the Netherclaw Ogre Dragon. He still remembered this grudge. He moved his dragon claws slightly, and a pair of radiant dragon horns appeared in his hands. However, this pair of mystical dragon horns had lost their luster. Fire Dragon Lord, do you only have this pair of dragon horns? He looked down and asked the Fire Dragon Lord, who was sitting on his right. Demon Dragon King, I only have this pair of dragon horns. I have used up all my energy to destroy the 2 dragon palaces. The Fire Dragon Lord stood up and bowed as he replied with a sullen expression. If it wasn't for the fact that there was an old monster hidden in the demon dragon bloodline, he wouldn't have been suppressed and submitted to someone weaker than him. Oh, that means this thing is useless? The demon dragon king raised his eyebrows and said plainly, "It's basically useless. If the demon dragon king wants to suppress or annihilate the water dragon palace, he can use the 4 dragon palaces to do so." The fire dragon lord lowered his head and replied, "Suppressed by the 4 dragon palaces? He announced that we will give the water dragon palace 10 days. If they don't surrender within 10 days, we will suppress them." The demon dragon king ordered plainly. Yes. The ghost dragon lord immediately replied. One by one, the demon dragon king narrowed his eyes and disappeared. Chapter 3249. Suppression by the 4 Dragon Palace. The demonic dragon lineage has issued a statement. They actually warned the Water Dragon Palace that if they don't surrender within 10 days, they will be suppressed. SSS. The demonic dragon lineage is too domineering now. Will the Water Dragon Palace agree to surrender? The Water Dragon Palace is stronger than the Crimson Gold Battle Dragon and the Wind Thunder Divine Dragon lineage. Will the Water Dragon Palace agree? If the Water Dragon Palace doesn't agree, they might really be suppressed. After all, the Crimson Gold Battle Dragon and the Fire Dragon Palace have surrendered to the demonic dragon lineage. The Water Dragon Palace and the Dragon Palace have joined forces. They probably won't surrender directly. Now that the demonic dragon lineage is obviously the strongest, they're probably going to unify the divine dragon lineage. When the demonic dragon lineage issued a statement, it caused a huge uproar. Making the Water Dragon Palace surrender was simply too domineering. Countless races in the surrounding starry sky discussed. They don't take us seriously at all. Do they really think we're easy to bully? In the Water Dragon Palace, the experts of the Water Dragon Palace were furious when they heard the news. The Water Dragon King and the Water Dragon Queen were extremely embarrassed. The demonic dragon lineage had forced them into a desperate situation. We can't contend with their strength. If they can open our Water Dragon Palace, we won't be their match. The Water Dragon Queen said solemnly. When everyone in the Dragon King Hall heard this, their faces turned ugly. Just as the Water Dragon Queen had said, the strength that the demonic dragon lineage had displayed wasn't something they could contend with. Mother, we can ask Brother Wang Xian and the others from the Dragon Palace to help. With the Dragon Palace's help, we shouldn't be afraid of them. Shui Linglong stood at the side and said angrily, Dragon Palace? The Water Dragon Queen and the Water Dragon King looked at each other. Now that the Water Dragon Palace and the Dragon Palace had announced an alliance, it was the Water Dragon Palace that sought the Dragon Palace. Now that the Water Dragon Palace was in such a situation, they were too embarrassed to seek help from the Dragon Palace. Moreover, this was a war, a battle of life and death. Would the Dragon Palace agree? The two of them weren't sure. Their relationship with the Dragon Palace was not as good as they had imagined. Even his daughter had only known the Dragon King for a short time. Would the Dragon Palace agree to help them in a war that could cost the lives of hundreds and thousands of universe supremacies? Who? Water Dragon King, Dragon Queen. Why don't we ask the Dragon Palace for reinforcements? Otherwise, we can only give up the Water Dragon Palace. Below, an old woman's expression changed as she spoke. That's the only way now. But I don't know if we can stop them with the help of the Dragon Palace. An old man beside him said with a changing expression, Let's give it a try. Leader of the Water Clan, take Ling Long with you. The Water Dragon Empress pondered for a moment and said. Then, she waved her arm, and a Water Dragon Pearl containing terrifying energy flew towards the Water Hidden Leader along with a bracelet that looked like a water droplet. These 2 Hotian treasures will be our gift, the Water Dragon Queen said calmly. When the leaders of the Water Dragon Palace saw the 2 acquired treasures, their expressions changed slightly. Yes, the leader of the Water Hidden tribe helplessly sighed and nodded. He looked at Shui Linglong and said, Princess, let's go. And Shui Linglong nodded her head, and the 2 of them immediately flew outside. The atmosphere in the Water Dragon Palace was extremely heavy. They are completely looking down on the Water Dragon Palace and our Dragon Palace. At the same time, in the Dragon Palace, Wang Xian's eyes flickered when he saw the news. The Water Dragon Palace and the Demon Dragon lineage had just announced an alliance, but they made such a statement. Obviously, they did not take them seriously. Perhaps, they thought that they could easily destroy the Dragon Palace. The Water Dragon Palace is doing this? A curious look appeared on his face, but he shook his head shortly after. He moved and entered the god kingdoms of the supremacies and began to collect treasures. As the god kingdom of a supremacy, there were all their treasures. There were all kinds of elixir pills and divine herbs. Wang Xian searched for the elixir pills and divine herbs one by one. What's this? After searching for more than half an hour, Wang Xian suddenly found a magical treasure in the god kingdom of a supremacy. It was an oil lamp, a very simple and unadorned oil lamp. There was nothing special about the oil lamp, and it was even extinguished. However, the oil lamp gave him a very magical feeling. The material of the oil lamp looked extraordinary, and it was engraved with simple and unadorned oil paint. There were shields, walls, and giants. This lamp seems to be extinguished, and there's no energy in it. Wang Xian murmured. He felt that this treasure was extraordinary and immediately kept it. After checking the resources in his hands, he smiled and flew towards the Dragon King Hall. The resources in his hands were enough for him to improve. Roar, roar. With a low roar, he transformed into his divine dragon body. Wang Xian moved his dragon claws slightly, and a large amount of resources entered his mouth. Boom, boom, boom. Waves of terrifying aura spread out from Wang Xian's body. While Wang Xian was improving, there were also many Dragon Palace members in the Dragon Transformation Pool. In the various cosmic god kingdoms, the devouring dragons began to devour. Time passed bit by bit. Boom! A day later, in the Dragon King Hall, an extremely vast energy spread to the surroundings. Ding! Congratulations on breaking through to the 9th transformation of the Divine Dragon. Rank 1 Supremacy of the Universe. Ding! Congratulations on breaking through to the 9th transformation of the Divine Dragon. Rank 1 Supremacy of the Universe. Name: Wang Xian. Race: Yin Yang 5 Elements Divine Dragon, 1 with the Dragon. Level: Universe Venerable. Rank 1, Divine Dragon Transformation 9th Transformation. Origin: 1%, 99% required for next breakthrough. Magic: Dominate the aquatic creatures. Dominate any aquatic creatures lower than your own level. Devour living things. Devour living things to extract the source. Control of the 5 elements cultivation technique. Divine Dragon Transformation. Divine Powers: Soul Capture, Spirit. Attachment. Nomological Divine Abilities: Dragon Eye Lock, 5 Elements Dragon Claw, Yin Yang World Breaker, 8 Luminaries Dragon Scale, Holy Dragon Shadow, 8 Divisions of the Heavenly Dragon, Dragon Tomb, Soaring Cloud Dragon, True Dragon Body Dharma Form, 5 Elements Grindstone, Dragon Country in the Palm, Dragon Head Descending, 10,000-Mile Dragon Body, Yin Yang Polarity, Yin Yang 5 Elemental Bowl, Divine Dragon Tail Whip, Dharma Form, 8 Directional Dragon Pillar Law of Mastery, Metal, Wood, Water, Fire, Earth, Light, Dark Wind. Divine Kingdom, Dragon Palace. Possess Dragon Palace. Acquired. Dragon Palace members, 11344550. The notification of the system sounded and information flashed across Wang Xian's mind. He opened his dragon eyes, and they were filled with excitement. He was now at the final transformation of the 9 Divine Dragon Transformations. He had also officially stepped into the Universe Supremacy realm. And when the 9 Divine Dragon Transformations were combined into one, it would be the Universe Ruler realm. End of chapter. Chapter 3250. Ka Ka Ka. Wang Xian swayed his body and waves of horrifying energy surged towards the surroundings. 8 rays of light shone on the dragon's body and powerful aura dispersed towards the surroundings. The combat power of a rank 7 Universe Venerable. This upgrade had allowed him to rise by 2 levels, from a rank 5 Universe Venerable to a rank 7 Universe Venerable. Feeling the immense power in his body, a smile appeared on his face. With my current strength and the advancement of the Dragon Palace can definitely step into the heaven-opening chaotic continent. Wang Xian murmured. This upgrade also allowed the Dragon Palace to cross the continental encirclement galaxy and enter the chaotic continent. There was another horrifying aspect to Wang Xian's advancement this time. In the future, the water race and demi-dragons below the universe venerable level would not be able to resist him and would be under his control. I should be invincible in the continental encirclement galaxy? He murmured with a smile on his face. The attack power of a rank 7 universe venerable, coupled with the terrifying speed of the unbeginning Saint Wings, made him invincible among the rank 7 universe venerables. As for a rank 7 universe venerable, it was sufficient for him to lead his race into the chaotic continent. Quietly feeling his own strength, Wang Xian transformed into his human form. With a wave of his hand, the mystical oil lamp appeared in his palm. The more I look at it, the more mystical it feels. Even with my current strength, I can't leave any marks on this material. Wang Xian murmured. The oil lamp had been extinguished. Other than being sturdy and mystical, it had no other use. He looked at the center of the oil lamp with hesitation in his eyes. There was a small hole in the center of the oil lamp, which seemed to be where the wick was inserted. However, this place had disappeared. There should have been some special energy around it, but now there was nothing in it. He could sense that there was another space where the energy was placed and many things could be stored in it. Wang Xian hesitated for a moment. With a wave of his arm, a piece of boundless wood from the progenitor tree behind the dragon throne flew over. He cut off a small piece and inserted it into the small hole in the oil lamp. With a wave of his arm, a large amount of vitality fluid from the moon bay of the ancient pond flew over and entered the oil lamp. Wang. In the next moment, the entire oil lamp shone brightly. A fiery red flame appeared and burned slowly. At this moment, Wang Xian could sense that he had a special connection with the ancient lamp. Buzz. With a thought, the entire oil lamp landed on his shoulder, as if it had grown there. The fiery red light enveloped him, forming a protective barrier around him. He raised his eyebrows slightly as he looked at the entire barrier. With a thought, the great grindstone of 5 elements flew out. Bam! The 5 elemental grindstone collided with the fiery red barrier, producing a loud sound. Wang Xian raised an eyebrow and ordered the 5 elements grindstone to attack. Boom! A terrifying collision sound was heard. Wang Xian could sense that the vitality fluid in the oil lamp had decreased by a little. A look of astonishment appeared on his face as he commanded the 5 elements grindstone to unleash its strongest attack. Boom! Despite the horrifying collision, there was still no fluctuation on the flame shield. Moreover, Wang Xian could sense that the vitality liquid in the oil lamp had been reduced by less than 1%. So perverted? His eyes were filled with astonishment. A full-powered attack from the 5 elements grindstone could kill a rank 5 universe supremacy. Yet, it was withstood so easily. Most importantly, Wang Xian did not do anything just now. In other words, as long as he had the oil lamp and stood there without moving, he could withstand an attack from a rank 5 universe supremacy. Moreover, the consumption of the vitality liquid in the oil lamp was related to the attack it suffered. Based on the vitality liquid that Wang Xian had placed, he could withstand at least a dozen attacks from a rank 7 universe supremacy just by standing there without moving. Impressive. This oil lamp is definitely not simple. It feels even stronger than an acquired cardinal treasure. Could it be a legendary Khanate treasure? He clicked his tongue as his eyes flickered. However, this could also be related to the wick and its energy. After all, the wick was a universe supremacy boundless wood. Its energy was also the vitality liquid of the Moon Bay Ancient Pool, a universe supremacy ancient pool. Very strong. This is a treasure with a terrifying defense, Wang Xian murmured. With a wave of his arm, he placed half of the vitality liquid in the Moon Bay into the oil lamp. With so much vitality liquid in it, he wondered what level of attack it could withstand. He murmured and suddenly had a thought. Enlai. He shouted and his voice was transmitted to Enlai. Dragon King. Soon, Enlai's figure appeared in the Dragon King Hall and greeted respectfully. Wang. Wang Xian waved his arm and the oil lamp on his shoulder landed on Enlai. Huh. Dragon King. What's this? Enlai looked at the flame cover of the oil lamp and revealed a surprised expression. A defensive treasure. Didn't you say that you can connect to many demonic soul altars? You can teleport over, take the demonic soul altar, and improve your strength. Wang Xian said to him, Dragon King, are you saying that I should bring this defensive treasure to absorb the energy of other demonic soul altars? Enlai's eyes lit up as he asked excitedly. His current strength could be said to be the weakest in the Dragon Palace. With the strength of a third-order god emperor, a universe supremacy could kill him with a stare. To improve his strength, he needed the special energy from the demonic soul altar. However, this energy was extremely scarce, which was why he had not improved his strength. If he wanted to improve his strength, he would have to teleport and take the risk to arrive at the location of other demonic soul altars. He had been there in the past but almost lost his life. In an instant, he bled from his 7 orifices. This made him not dare to take the risk anymore. With the protection of the oil lamp, he didn't have to worry too much. According to Wang Xian's estimation, the energy in the oil lamp should be able to withstand an attack from a peak universe supremacy. As long as he could withstand it for a moment, Enlai could escape instantly. Enlai's strange ability was extremely useful to the Dragon Palace. Even now, Wang Xian couldn't travel as fast as him. Go ahead. Be careful. If you meet an existence at the level of a universe lord, you probably won't be able to return. Wang Xian reminded. A universe lord could kill Enlai instantly. The energy in the oil lamp wasn't enough to withstand an attack from a universe lord. Yes, Dragon King. I'll be careful. Enlai shrunk his neck and said, he cherished his life very much. If it were someone else, he would have taken the risk to enter other demonic soul altars to improve his strength. A universe lord was one of the peak existences in the universe. He shouldn't meet one so easily. Chapter 3251. I hope Enlai can make more breakthroughs. Wang Xian muttered to himself as he watched Enlai disappear. Enlai had been stuck in the third-order god emperor realm for too long. If Enlai could not break through, he would not be of much use in the future. With the protection of the oil lamp, there should not be much of a problem. Boom! At this moment, a powerful aura came from the dragon transformation pool. Wang Xian looked over and revealed a smile. Tianjun had broken through. This time, they had killed a total of 9 universe level 5 venerables. Adding in some resources, Heaven Array's strength had risen to the level of a universe level 6 venerable. Once Tianjun broke through, he would be able to fight against 3 rank 6 universe venerables. Hence, letting him break through first was more suitable than having 10 more rank 5 universe venerables. Wang Xian moved and came to the front of the dragon transformation pool. This time, Tianjun was not the only one who broke through. There were over 3,000 universe venerables. There was another batch of members who were still improving. After this upgrade, the number of universe venerables in Dragon Palace will reach over 8,000. Wang Xian muttered. 8,000 universe venerables. This was considered a good number among the middle-tier races in the universe. But there was still a gap between them and the higher-tier races in the universe. To become a higher-tier race, there was a standard, and that was to form a team of universe venerables. Universe venerables could form an army. The pinnacle races in the universe were invincible because they had too many experts. For example, the angel race could mass-produce battle angels of the universe venerables. Their army of battle angels could reach millions or even tens of millions. That was how terrifying and invincible they were. An army of battle angels of tens of millions of universe venerables. What kind of concept was that? It was dozens of times more than all the universe venerables in the outer perimeter of the continent encirclement space. The foundation of the pinnacle races was unimaginable. They had experienced the cataclysm of the universe, and each cataclysm lasted over 30 billion years. Besides having a long history, they controlled a large amount of resources in the chaotic continent. The pinnacle races in the universe were unimaginable in their long history. From this point, it could be seen that just the inheritance left behind by the Dragon Kings back then was able to create a mid-tier and high-tier race in the universe. One could imagine how powerful the peak races were. Of course, there were also some abnormally powerful advanced races in the universe. The Dragon Palace was still far from reaching the pinnacle. Over the next few days, the members of Dragon Palace began to break through in large numbers. Dragon King, the leader of the water-hidden tribe, and the princess of the Water Dragon Palace are here to see you. On this day, Wang Xian was shocked when he heard Prime Minister Turtle's report in the Dragon Palace. Water Dragon Palace's Shui Linglong and the others requested to see him. There was no prior notice. A trace of surprise flashed in his eyes, and he quickly guessed a problem. "Invite them in," said Wang Xian. "It's Dragon King." Prime Minister Turtle nodded. "Greetings, Dragon King." Soon, the leader of the water-hidden division of the Water Dragon Palace, Shui Linglong, walked in and cupped her hands. Obviously, this was a formal visit. "Please take a seat." Wang Xian looked at Shui Linglong and the rest and gestured to them with a smile. "Brother Wang Xian, we are here in the name of the Water Dragon Palace. We have something to ask the Dragon Palace for help." Shui Linglong sat down and spoke to Wang Xian. "I know why you are here. This time, I will send some of my subordinates to your place." Wang Xian replied immediately. "Huh. Thank you, Dragon King. Thank you, Dragon Palace, for helping us. We, the Water Dragon Palace, can't thank you enough." The leader of the Water-Hidden Division was surprised when she heard it. She immediately stood up and expressed her gratitude. "This is a gift of gratitude from the Water Dragon King and the Water Dragon Queen to the Dragon King. Please accept it." As the leader of the Water-Hidden Division spoke, she waved her arm and 2 acquired cardinal treasures flew towards Wang Xian. Huh. Wang Xian was shocked when he sensed the 2 acquired cardinal treasures. He hesitated for a moment before keeping them. "The Water Dragon Palace will advance and retreat together with the Water Dragon Palace," said Wang Xian with a smile. "Thank you, Dragon King." The leader of the Water-Hidden Division thanked him again. At this moment, the universe intelligence on him vibrated. Huh. The leader of the Water-Hidden Division took a glance and narrowed her eyes. "Dragon King, we have to rush back immediately. The Devil Dragon lineage wants to send 4 dragon palaces to suppress the Water Dragon Palace." Her expression changed suddenly as she spoke to Wang Xian. 4 dragon palaces suppressing the Water Dragon Palace? Wang Xian squinted his eyes as they glistened. Huh, they want to seal us up now? Damn the Devil Dragon lineage. Do they really think we are pushovers? When Shui Linglong heard the leader of the Water-Hidden Division, she took out the universe intelligence and had a look. Anger was written all over her face. "Prime Minister Turtle, get Tianzhan to bring 2,000 elites of the Dragon Palace to the Water Dragon Palace." Wang Xian immediately ordered Prime Minister Turtle when he saw that. "Yes, Dragon King." Prime Minister Turtle answered immediately. "Linglong, don't worry. I'll send the experts of the Dragon Palace over immediately. I'll rush over soon." Wang Xian looked at Shui Linglong and comforted her. "Thank you, Brother Wang Xian." Shui Linglong expressed her gratitude. "Get Xiaolan to carry you over. It'll be faster." Soon, Tianzhan led a group of experts from the Dragon Palace over and ordered Wang Xian. "Yes, Dragon King." Tianzhan and the rest cupped their fists and flew towards the Dragon Palace. Woo-woo. Xiaolan, who was at the back, flew into the sky and let out a low growl. Giant beast of the galaxy. Such a powerful giant beast of the galaxy. The leader of the Water-Hidden tribe was astonished when he saw Xiaolan's huge body. He could feel a powerful threat from Little Blue's body. "Go." Wang Xian came to Shui Linglong and patted her back. "Thank you, Brother Wang Xian." Shui Linglong looked at him gratefully and flew towards Xiaolan. Wang Xian didn't follow because it would take 2 days for Xiaolan and the rest to rush over. At that time, he only needed to get Tianzhan and the rest to draw an altar, and Enlai could teleport him over instantly. Moreover, Wang Xian didn't have to do it himself. Tianzhan's strength had already broken through to rank 6 Universe Venerable, and he could fight them. The Water Dragon Palace wouldn't be a problem with the support of the Dragon Palace. "The Water Dragon Palace is really generous to give me 2 acquired cardinal treasures." Wang Xian moved his palm and looked at the 2 acquired cardinal treasures in his hand with a smile. Coincidentally, after the 5 elements grindstone devoured these 2 acquired cardinal treasures, it could be upgraded again. However, the upgrade this time would probably only increase the combat power of a rank 6 Universe Venerable. Chapter 3252. The Holy When Clan Intervened, Buzz. In the Dragon Palace, Wang Xian controlled the five elements grindstone to absorb the two acquired treasures. He opened the artificial intelligence system and checked the current situation of the Water Dragon Palace. When he saw some videos and pictures on the artificial intelligence system, he raised his eyebrows slightly. In the videos and pictures, 3 huge dragon palaces were flying in the void. Each dragon palace exuded a terrifying aura. The Golden Dragon Palace was emitting golden light. The Thunder Dragon Palace contained terrifying thunder and lightning, and the Fire Dragon Palace was emitting terrifying flames. The 3 terrifying dragon palaces shuttled through the continental starry sky, causing a huge commotion. These 3 dragon palaces had an invincible defense against all the forces in the continental starry sky. No one could break the defense of these 3 dragon palaces. But now, these 3 dragon palaces were flying in the direction of the Water Dragon Palace. 3 dragon palaces, plus the dark world of the demonic dragon, which was also a dragon palace in nature, made a total of 4 dragon palaces. 4 dragon palaces were heading towards the Water Dragon Palace. They were going to completely suppress the Water Dragon Palace. The 10-day limit of the demonic dragon lineage hasn't arrived yet, and they sent 4 dragon palaces over. Are they going to destroy the Water Dragon Palace once the deadline is over? This is too terrifying. For dragon palaces, and each dragon palace is extremely terrifying. With 4 dragon palaces suppressing the Water Dragon Palace, they might be able to break its defense. It's highly possible. The strength of the demonic dragon lineage is too terrifying. In our continental starry sky, they are invincible except for the 2 forces with rank 7 universe supremacies, right? The group of dragon palaces flew towards the Water Dragon Palace, causing discussions among countless forces and experts. The strength that the demonic dragon lineage displayed was almost invincible in the continental starry sky. With 4 dragon palaces suppressing the Water Dragon Palace, they might really be able to break its defense. Wang Xian's eyes sparkled as he looked at the information on the artificial intelligence system. Looking at the pictures of the dragon palaces, he felt a little excited. This was a powerful dragon palace. If these dragon palaces were devoured by the devouring dragons, how terrifying would they be? But it was too difficult to obtain these dragon palaces. Unless all of them came out, Wang Xian could kill all the people who controlled the dragon palace. Otherwise, they would basically be invincible inside. However, there was another possibility, and that was that Enlai's strength would increase tremendously. It could raise it to the 5th or 6th level of a universe venerable. If he could reach this level, then even if the Fire Dragon Master and the others were in his Fire Dragon Palace, Enlai would be able to assassinate them with his terrifying teleportation ability. I wonder how Enlai is doing now. Wang Xian murmured as he waited for Enlai to return. The Fire Dragon Palace has already arrived at our Water Dragon continent. Humph, those damned fellows only know how to bully us. At the same time, Shui Linglong, who was on Xiao Lan's body, had been paying attention to the situation in the Water Dragon Palace. Looking at the messages one by one, his face was filled with rage. According to their speed, the demonic dragon bloodline and the others have already reached our Water Dragon Palace before we return, the leader of the Water Hidden Tribe said with a sullen face. However, the experts sent by the Dragon Palace to support us are very strong. Maybe we can survive this crisis. He glanced at the surrounding members of Dragon Palace and was filled with gratitude towards Dragon Palace. The 2,000 experts of Dragon Palace were all a level higher than a universe venerable. Moreover, he could sense that the star behemoth they were riding was even more terrifying. Given his combat strength as a 5th stage venerable, he could only run away if he encountered this giant star beast, unless he took out a postnatal cardinal treasure. Xiao Lan shuttled through the starry sky and quickly headed in the direction of the Water Dragon Palace. The huge giant star beast once again attracted the attention of many people. 10 hours later, the news of a huge giant star beast traveling quickly in the surrounding starry sky spread through a small area on the AI. The Shengwen clan was a famous and powerful clan in the surrounding starry sky. When the experts heard the news from their subordinates, they immediately gathered together. We found traces of the giant star beast again. The fall of the third elder and the seventh elder was related to that giant star beast, and there's something fishy about it. In a hall of the Shangwen clan, dozens of middle-aged and old men sat. An old man looked at the image of the giant star beast in front of him and said solemnly, "According to the latest news, someone found someone on the giant star beast." In other words, the giant star beast was subdued and suppressed by a force. A middle-aged man opposite him said faintly, "The disciples we sent to investigate have a clear news. The giant star beast came from a place called Star River Space." At this time, an old man in the center looked at the latest news from his disciple and said, "Ever since the two rank 5 venerables of the Saintwen clan were killed, the Saintwen clan had been investigating the cause of their deaths. This time, the appearance of the giant star beast attracted the attention of the entire Shangwen clan. Almost all of the Shangwen clan's forces were used to investigate the giant star beast. Star River Space. That should be where the Dragon Palace is located. You said that the giant star beast belongs to the Dragon Palace?" An old man holding a light staff said with a slight frown, "There's an 80% chance, and according to the route of the giant star beast, it's heading towards the Water Dragon Palace." The old man in the center confirmed, "Water Dragon Palace?" The surrounding people pondered. In terms of strength, they were stronger than the Water Dragon Palace. What's more, the Water Dragon Palace was in danger of being destroyed. Now that the Water Dragon Palace and the Dragon Palace had formed an alliance, the possibility that the giant star beast belonged to the Dragon Palace was very high. According to the news, the strongest expert of the Dragon Palace is also a 5th order venerable. If the giant star beast really belongs to the Dragon Palace, we will make the Dragon Palace pay for the death of the 3rd elder and 7th elder." The old man in the center said coldly, his eyes filled with killing intent, "Hee. Now that the Water Dragon Palace and the Dragon Palace are being suppressed by the Demon Dragon lineage, if we can be sure, I think we can report to the Clan Elder and ask the Clan Elder to take us to destroy the Dragon Palace and avenge the 3rd elder and 7th elder. Perhaps we can even suppress that star behemoth." The old man holding the light staff had a sinister and cunning look in his eyes. If it was in normal times, with the Dragon Palace's terrifying defense, they would never rashly become their mortal enemy. But it was different now. Looking at the current situation, the Demon Dragon lineage wanted to destroy the Water Dragon Palace and even the Dragon Palace. They could get involved and reap some benefits. The upper echelons of the Shangwen clan looked at each other and smiled faintly. Chapter 3253. Xiao Lan vs. Ferocious Dragon 10 Heads on Wu Wu. The huge Xiao Lan shuttled through the starry sky and headed towards the Water Dragon Palace quickly. As expected, they are heading towards the Water Dragon Palace. There are still many people above the cosmic beast. We can be sure that we can take action now. On a planet not far away, an old man said faintly, "Let's send people to the Water Dragon Palace directly. If they fight with the demonic dragon lineage, we will take action. If not, we will act according to the situation." All right. As the old men conversed, their figures flickered and they immediately disappeared. Soon, a huge radiant lotus flew out from the Saintwen clan. The lotus was a few thousand meters in size and contained a terrifying power of light. Thousands of middle-aged and old men stood on it and flew towards the Water Dragon Palace quickly. Boom, boom, boom. As the deadline of the demonic dragon lineage passed day by day, 3 dragon palaces had gathered around the Water Dragon Palace. Fire Dragon Palace, Crimson Gold Battle Dragon Palace, Wind and Thunder Divine Dragon Palace. The 3 dragon palaces were already in 3 directions around the Water Dragon Palace, surrounding it in a triangle. Dragon Lord, when will the Demonic Dragon King and Demonic Dragon Emperor arrive? At this moment, a Crimson Gold Battle Dragon asked the Fire Dragon Lord in the Fire Dragon Palace. They will come at the last moment. Let's seal the Water Dragon Palace first and prevent their experts from escaping. The Fire Dragon Lord said expressionlessly as he looked to the side, "Order everyone to spread out. Don't let anyone from the Water Dragon Palace go. In addition, release the ferocious dragon 10 heads and order him to patrol the surroundings." The Fire Dragon Lord continued to order. The Fire Dragon Lord had been completely subdued by the Demonic Dragon King's father, the Demonic Dragon Emperor. He would follow the Demonic Dragon Emperor's orders. To suppress the Water Dragon Palace, they naturally couldn't let them escape. It was fine if the Water Dragon Palace surrendered, but if they dared to resist, they would be doomed. Yes, the members of the Fire Dragon Palace and the Crimson Gold Battle Dragon answered immediately. Now, among the experts who had submitted to the demonic dragon lineage, the Fire Dragon Lord was the strongest. If it wasn't for the demonic dragon emperor, the Fire Dragon Lord would have been the king by now. Soon, an enormous star beast with the head of a dragon, Serene, flew out from the rear of the Fire Dragon Palace. The ferocious dragon 10 heads was 60,000 meters long. It was even bigger than when Shui Linglong and the others suppressed it. It was obvious that there was a huge improvement. The aura emitted from his body had reached the level of a 5th-order universe venerable. A universe venerable rank 5 space beast was definitely a terrifying existence. The 10 heads of the dragon roared and flew into the air. 10 pairs of cold eyes stared at the Water Dragon Palace below. Do they really think our Water Dragon Palace is easy to bully? He actually suppressed 3 dragon palaces around us, and that giant star beast was originally our Water Dragon Palace's giant beast. In the Water Dragon Palace, a group of experts looked at the scene around them angrily. 3 dragon palaces surrounded them, and a huge astral beast flew above their heads. This made them feel extremely aggrieved. When had the Water Dragon Palace ever suffered such humiliation? Water Dragon King, I request to go out and destroy their arrogance. The leader of the West Water Tribe asked the Water Dragon King with murderous intent. Water Dragon King, the experts of the demon dragon lineage haven't arrived yet. I think we can have a good fight with them. The old woman on the side also said with a sinister expression, wait for the people of the Dragon Palace to arrive before we take action. This time, the Dragon Palace has sent many experts. When they arrive, we will immediately let them know how powerful the Water Dragon Palace is. The Water Dragon King said coldly. Now that the demon dragon lineage had already bullied them, no one could tolerate it anymore. Once the reinforcements of the Dragon Palace arrived, they would immediately counterattack. Even if they couldn't kill too many of them, they had to let them know their attitude, determination, and strength. The experts and disciples of the Water Dragon Palace held their weapons tightly with murderous intent, ready to fight at any time. We're almost there. At the same time, in the void of the boundless continent, Shui Linglong stared ahead and said coldly on Xiao Lan's body, Leader Tianjun, we're about to reach the Water Dragon Palace. Now that there are 3 dragon palaces blocking our surroundings, we might be attacked when we rush over. However, when we go over, the Water Dragon Palace will launch an attack on them. Please help us when the time comes. The Water Hidden Leader walked to the side of Tianjun and cupped his hands. Don't worry. Tianjun nodded as he stared ahead with flickering eyes. Gradually, the mainland of the Water Dragon Palace appeared in their sight. They could feel the powerful pressure from the 4 dragon palaces in front of them. The Water Hidden Leader and the experts of the Dragon Palace are here. Get ready to attack the guys from the Fire Dragon Palace and the Crimson Gold Battle Dragon. In the Water Dragon Palace, the Water Dragon King and the rest received the news and immediately ordered, yes, attack, kill. Let them know how powerful the Water Dragon Palace is. In an instant, more than 4,000 universe venerables, who were already prepared, rushed out under the leadership of the Water Dragon Palace's leaders. Madam, wait here. I'll take action too, said the Water Dragon King with a murderous look. He immediately rushed out of the Water Dragon Palace. Ha ha ha, Fire Dragon Lord, I didn't expect you to become the lackey of the Demon Dragon. You're just Oso. Come and die. The Water Dragon King flew out and stared in the direction of the Fire Dragon Palace as he roared coldly. Roar, roar. He moved and turned into a Water Divine Dragon, exuding a powerful aura. Water Dragon King, if you don't surrender, you'll be destroyed. You have to consider it carefully. In the Fire Dragon Palace, sensing the Water Dragon Palace's attack and hearing the Water Dragon King's voice, the Fire Dragon Lord's eyes were cold and disdainful. He swayed his huge body and came out of the Dragon Gate of the Fire Dragon Palace, staring coldly at the Water Dragon King. You want to destroy us? The Water Dragon Palace isn't something that can be destroyed by anyone. None of us are afraid of death. said the Water Dragon King coldly. He opened his mouth, and an extremely powerful Water Dragon Pearl appeared above him. Hee, you're courting death. It's easy to destroy you. The Fire Dragon Lord stared at the Water Dragon King with disdain. Woo woo woo. Right at this moment, a deep roar that seemed to originate from some unknown source was heard. Huh. Are the people from the Dragon Palace here to support you? Hee, that's good too. I was planning to destroy the Dragon Palace after I destroyed you. Now that you're together, it's just right. The Fire Dragon Lord looked towards the source of the voice. He saw Xiao Lan's huge body and felt the aura coming from above. He smiled. Chapter 3254. All Dragon Palace disciples, prepare for battle. Tianjun, who was on Xiao Lan's body, looked ahead and commanded in a deep voice. In front of the Water Dragon Palace, the Water Dragon King led a group of experts to confront the experts from the Fire Dragon Palace and the Crimson Gold Battle Dragon Palace. A war could break out at any time. Tianjin looked over with a cold look in his eyes. Now that his strength had broken through, even if the demonic dragon lineage had a rank 6 universe supremacy, he could still fight them. Kill these dogs. The Water Dragon King looked into the distance with excitement in his eyes. He locked his gaze on the Fire Dragon Lord and moved. The Water Dragon Pearl emitted a terrifying aura as it attacked the Fire Dragon Lord. Kill. The experts of the Water Dragon Palace roared and attacked the experts of the Crimson Golden Battle Dragon from the Fire Dragon Palace. Hee. Even without the arrival of the demonic Dragon Emperor, I can annihilate all of you. When the Fire Dragon Master saw the Water Dragon King charging at him, his eyes were filled with disdain. He moved and directly faced the Water Dragon King. I'll give you 10 days to surrender. If you don't know what's good for you, I will annihilate all of you today. There's no need to wait for 10 days. The Fire Dragon Lord roared and released terrifying flames on its claws as it charged towards the Water Dragon King. Humph! The Water Dragon King's eyes were cold as the Water Dragon Pearl emitted rays of blue light into its body. Roar! A terrifying water current condensed into a water dragon and attacked the Fire Dragon Lord. Kill! The surrounding experts from the Water Dragon Palace roared with murderous intent as they charged forward. Let's go and support the Water Dragon Palace. Tianjun, who was on Xiao Lan's body, shouted. Swish, swish, swish. This time, those who came with Tianjun were the elites of the Dragon Palace. Berserk Dragon Species, Arrow Dragon Species, Heavenly Lightning Earth and Fire Dragon Species, Mystical Dragon Species, etc. 2,000 core experts of the Dragon Palace flew towards the battlefield. Ha, we didn't kill you, but your Dragon Palace still dares to get involved. Today, we will kill all of you together. Seeing the Water Dragon King's attack, the Fire Dragon King swung his dragon claws to block it. At the same time, he didn't seem to care about the Water Dragon King at all. He raised his head and looked at the experts from Dragon Palace in the sky, his eyes full of mockery. Courting death. When the Water Dragon King saw that the Fire Dragon Master dared to get distracted while fighting against him, a murderous look appeared in his eyes. Streams of water turned into terrifying dragon scales and struck at him. Die! Sensing the attack of the Water Dragon King, the Fire Dragon King's eyes flashed with ferocity. With a jerk of his body, he dashed towards the Water Dragon King. Boom, boom, boom. Fire Claw, cover the sky. The water dragon formed by the water was easily broken by the Fire Dragon Lord. It stretched out its dragon claws and roared. A humongous flaming dragon claw struck towards the Water Dragon King. What? The Water Dragon King's expression changed when he saw that his attack was easily broken once again and felt the terrifying flaming dragon claw. Not good. The strength of this Fire Dragon Lord is a little strange. He raised his Water Dragon Pearl and blocked the flaming dragon claw. Bam! However, the Water Dragon Pearl, which was emitting powerful water laws, was slapped away by the dragon claw. The flaming dragon claw continued its attack on the Water Dragon King. The strength of this Fire Dragon Lord is definitely higher than a rank 5 universe supremacy. The Water Dragon King roared with his eyes wide open. He was in disbelief. How could the strength of the Fire Dragon Lord reach rank 6 universe supremacy? With such strength, how could he still submit to the Demon Dragon bloodline? The Water Dragon King's expression changed constantly. The reason why the Water Dragon Palace dared to attack now was because the Demon Dragon bloodline wasn't around. To them, the Demon Dragon bloodline had given birth to a rank 6 universe supremacy. They never expected the Fire Dragon Lord to have such strength too. Terrifying. Retreat. We have to retreat. The Water Dragon King roared in fear. The other side had sent out a rank 6 universe venerable. They couldn't resist at all. Bam! As the terrifying dragon claw struck, a large number of water shields appeared in front of the Water Dragon King to defend. Zzz. However, black wounds still appeared on his body. These black wounds were burned by the flames and looked extremely terrifying. One move and the Water Dragon King was heavily injured. Within his body, a water attribute treasure that looked like a clock spun, rapidly healing his injuries. A rank 6 universe supremacy? In the sky, Sky Array flew down from Xiao Lan's body. He was shocked when he sensed the battle on the Fire Dragon Lord's side. The strength that the Fire Dragon Lord displayed also shocked Sky Array. So, he waved his palms quickly and formations started forming. At the side, the ferocious dragon 10 heads that had been circling above the Water Dragon Palace had long sensed Xiao Lan's aura. He stared at Xiao Lan, who was hundreds of times bigger than him. His eyes shone brightly. Woo-woo. Xiao Lan also noticed the ferocious dragon 10 heads, and his eyes revealed a look of excitement. He let out a low roar and attacked the scarlet dragon decapod. The 10 heads of the ferocious dragon 10 heads let out a terrifying roar as a huge mountain started forming on his body. The mountain headed straight for Xiao Lan. Woo-woo. The grayish energy on Xiao Lan's body shook. Without dodging, he headed straight for the mountain. The mountain was tens of times bigger than Xiao Lan, but the terrifying mountain crumbled rapidly when it landed on Xiao Lan's body. Xiao Lan slowly opened his terrifying mouth, as though he wanted to devour the entire void. Roar, roar. The ferocious dragon 10 heads saw how easily Xiao Lan destroyed his attack, and his eyes revealed a trace of fear and dread. One after another, huge, earthy yellow horns shot towards Little Blue's huge mouth. However, the earthy yellow horns did not cause any ripples when they entered Xiao Lan's bottomless mouth. Xiao Lan continued to devour it. This caused the ferocious dragon 10 heads to panic. This giant star beast, which seemed to be as strong as it, was too strange. Woo-woo. The ferocious dragon 10 heads roared and immediately fled to the side. Buzz, buzz, buzz. However, at this moment, a terrifying black hole appeared around him. He shook his body and instantly disappeared into the black hole. In the next moment, the exit of the black hole appeared in Xiao Lan's mouth. When the ferocious dragon 10 heads came out, his eyes were filled with fear. The power of law on his body boiled as he attacked the surroundings with all his might. Buzz. However, at this moment, Xiao Lan's mouth slowly closed and started digesting. The extremely powerful ferocious dragon 10 heads had become Xiao Lan's food. Invincible within the same realm. You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.